Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Get that music pumping and running. Let's get it moving. Let's see what's happening with Bitcoin today. Shout out to anybody that made money on those shorts to the downside. You got to learn how to make money both ways. You can't just hope and pray for one way. You got to learn how to make it money both ways. Also, I don't trade Coinbase heavily. People are telling me that they weren't able to sell on Coinbase. They got stuck in positions. That is horrible. KUCOIN, you're able to sell easily. MEXC Global, sell easily. Binance US, easily too. Never had an issue with those three exchanges. Even Bittrex never had an issue. So if you're on Coinbase and unable to get off, they've had every single time there's a massive crash. I've seen horrible issues on Coinbase. Just be careful when it comes to Coinbase. So let's break down what I see happening for Bitcoin today. Let's get the lemon into the water. It's Friday, but it doesn't mean we get to take a day off. Every single day is a hustle in your life, baby. Every single day. Shout out to my MEXC bangers. Shout out to everyone that's shorting and killing it and getting it in on MEXC. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. We're going to get it in. Let's take a big sip of the lemon water. I worked out today. I feel good. I feel very good. Let's get that pineal gland decalcified. Let's get ourselves back into the mode. Let's get it in. Let's take a big sip of the lemon water, and let's get it in. Not as big as the last few days. Let's take a big sip of the honey. Shout out to Be Well Honey, 54 Macquon Street, Pembroke, Mass. Be well, have honey every single day of your life, especially in the wintertime. Get acclimated to the pollens that you'll see in the spring. And, hey, I never have allergies in the spring and summertime, but I'm drinking that honey all the time. Honey also gets rid of viral. I love it. I live and die by the honey. Honey is one of the greatest substances on earth, made by the bees, baby. It's bee throw up. They eat it, they spit it back up. You're eating bee poo or bee puke, whatever you want, but it's good. Bees, the cleanest animals in the world, too. Like, they're so clean. You ever watch a bee clean themselves? I watched this video of a bunch of bees helping another bee that got stuck in, like, some muddy substances, and they were able to clean him and save him. And they saved the bee, I'm having a black human seed. I know you saw that video. Shout out to everybody here on the live. We're going to have some vitamin D, too, as well. Here in Boston, we don't get a lot of sun up until now. Now the earth changes. We get a little more sun than we used to. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on into the markets. Let's break it down. Shout out to all the beautiful people out here on the live. Thank you for kicking it. And I jumped on into we did 3 streams yesterday. I streamed on the regular live stream. Then we did the, emergency live stream. And now here we are. Manuka honey is amazing too. Manuka, baby. Manuka. Bee vomit on the daily. Till the day, baby. Shout out to Ma Barley in the house. Shout out to everybody here. William D. Taylor, Tree City West, an oldie. You're an old OG lifer, Tree City West, man, from back in the day. My man. Oh, and the ticker's off. Let's reset that ticker for you. Shout out to anyone that joined me on Around the Blockchain last night. It was an amazing discussion. I really liked the panel I was on with Feroz. What a nice guy, right? Feroz, so well-spoken. Crypto Crow knows what he's talking about. He's the man. And Evan Aldo, awesome new addition to the technical analysis team here on YouTube. So shout out to everybody on the live. Thank you for being here. Shout out to anyone that jumped into ATB last night. Shout out to DZ too. We got to get DZ on the show. DZ, we got to get you on the show. So we're looking to get DZ in and get him going. Let's take a look at ES1. Let's take a look at Bitcoin right off the bat. So this morning, I saw this bullish divergence on the 7-minute. It broke out of a rising wedge. I had the rising wedge kind of like this, but then I kind of looked at it and I said, that trend line holds better. And then I drew a flag. I said, watch the flag. We could pump up to the 200 SMA. It's exactly what eventually would happen. Again, I make little calls here and there. I get it. But someone said, hey, I made a scalp in the trading group. Like, I looked at the 99 and he was like, dude, I made a scalp. Thank you, Lifer. Just banged on him, right? What was it right here? Crypto Lifer, humble because... So he says, great, my new light jacket. I love it. Quality, got respect. 166% on 77X on Timmy. Wow. Crazy. Bitcoin getting a little bit of a pump here too. Trading group was super active this morning. God bless each and every one of you. We love you. We love you. It's funny, man. Wow, man. Just a lot of action. I love owning a trading group. Love being a part of something bigger than myself. God bless each and every one of you. It's not easy. It's a full-time job. It's constant. But you know what? I wouldn't change it for the world. So we looked at this idea. If you're in my trading group, I just went over Bitcoin this morning, and I do what I do. I just let my mind kind of see what I see, right? And so let's see if we can hit the 200 SMA. So I said readjusted, watching this flag of the 7-minute, and I said, let's see if we can, and then it pumped. I said, let's see if we can hit the 200 SMA. Right? That was kind of the next idea there, right? It pumped up again out of the flag. Could it hit the 200? And basically it did. Went very close to it and almost tapped it. Just an idea. These are ideas. Whenever you're tight in the moving averages, you tend to pump up to touch or barely touch the 200 SMA on multiple time frames. This happens with the daily, 3-day. I've seen it on the weekly. I've seen it on the 1-minute. You can use this skill and this little strategy on multiple time frames. Shout out to everybody here. Always less viewership on a Friday. I guess people are just like, you know what? I'm taking the day off. I'm on my way. It's Friday. I'm not going to do it. But you know what? For all the people that take a day off, God bless you, because I haven't had a day off since February of 2021. Not a whole entire day where I just went to the lake, turned off the computer, and spent the whole day chilling. I've live streamed every single day since February 2021. And honestly, I love it. I love my obligations to my lifers, and I love the passionate life in which I lead. God bless each and every one of you for being here. I couldn't have done it without each and every one of you. I can't do it without each and every one of you. If you don't show up, if you don't provide these awesome comments, the likes, the support, what am I showing up to? So I know very clearly that you are the reason I'm here. I am not the reason I'm here. I mean, we met halfway, we'll say. It was, 50-50, but it's like a TP. I'm leaning on you, you're leaning on me. Together, we create the life or vision. And honestly, because you show up, you help other people find my course, find my live stream, and then they change their lives. So you help more testimonials get built day in and day out. Each time you help me, more testimonials get added to the testimonials, and people just change their lives. So may God bless anyone that's written in here. I have hundreds and hundreds of stories. They go on and on. Thousands of people have written their life stories. Check these out. You just want to just randomly find one and read it. It'll inspire you. The stories are inspiring. The positivity is inspiring. I wouldn't change it for the world. So now we're looking at Bitcoin in this falling wedge here. It's retesting this resistance, this resistance, this diagonal resistance retest, oversold on the 7. It's a bit of a I wouldn't even go for the cup and handle, too shallow, but it is a falling wedge kind of flag that could break to the upside. You're battling this point of control, the 7-minute time frame. You get back above it, you can get to the value area high up here. One thing that we have to do today, our major resistance now is right here at 20,390. We must get back above 20,400 to remain bullish. Or if we cannot do that, expect more downside. I got a list of kind of where we could go if we don't make it through the zone. If we break back inside this falling wedge, then this falling wedge has a measured move to the downside at 18,383. So only time will tell. It's sideways Bitcoin action. Let's get Bookmap up and running and see what's happening with Bookmap. See if there's any liquidity kind of baiting us or if it just looks pretty flat. Shout out to Druid, Crypto, Emery, my man, in the game. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to Jimbo. Shout out to Lentkivi. Shout out to Gabriel Henrique. I'm here for you, Adonai. Thank you, Adonai. Funny, you said Adonai. That reminds me of the plebeians. Are you a Pleiadian? That's weird. You said Adonai, that's interesting. Shout out to my Pleiadians. Are there any Pleiadians here in the chat? Are there any Pleiadians in the chat? Who here knows what a Pleiadian is? Be honest. Who here knows what a Pleiadian is? If you don't know what a Pleiadian is, it's okay. It's okay. Who here knows what a Pleiadian is? Shout out to Justin. Yes, here. Okay. Not me. I'm from Andromeda. New low, 13K. You never know. I do not know. I do. I do. The best. Shalom. I know. Sounds Greek. Don't know. A race of aliens, see? I'm not going to go there. Starwalkers. The Galactic Federation of Light. Who knows who Ed Lee Scalene is? All right? My algorithm thinks I'm a star seed. You're funny. Love the morning update. Thank you. Who here loves the morning update for Bitcoin? So let's take a look here. Let's get that music up a little more. Get me moving here. So let's take a look at Bookmap. Bookmap is expressing signs of a short squeeze. Whenever I see the rumbling up and we start to build, we kind of get the short squeeze. So it's showing me we might get a short squeeze here. It's just, I'm getting the reminiscence of when it happens. I can't explain it, but it starts doing this circular thing and then big balls start to pop up. I'm not saying it's guaranteed to happen, but it's got the feels. Now, if we look at the liquidity, we got 20,200 sells. We got 19,400 buys. This area is closer to the price action. Suggests that we do drop lower. However, that's a really big sell order at 20,200. So only time will tell. We'll see how we get out of this situation or not. The liquidity down here suggests that we go lower. How does Bookmap work? Well, it shows you where the most heat is, like a heat map. But it also shows you where the orders sit on that heat map. Has cumulative volume delta as well, telling you the back and forth of the ratios of, basically shorts to longs getting liquidated. We're actually going to be able to see people actually get liquidated too. Those are actual accounts getting liquidated on the futures, right? We have amalgamated data from OKX, Bybit, and Binance Futures giving us the data every single day, right? So this tells us that we could end up lower. We could end up lower here because this bar liquidity happens to be closer than that one. However, it's kind of imbalanced, and this is pretty chubby. So, a lot of times if you show me open up Bookmap and we see heavy zonage down here, that's likely we begin to fall down into that zone. Right now, it's probably indecisive in Friday. We have pumped on Fridays, but notoriously Fridays are sideways. You know what I mean? So we'll go from there. We'll take it one step at a time, one day at a time. But right now, it is suggesting, if I had to place it, I'm getting kind of mixed data on Bookmap. You know, if I had to place the last probability, it's more likely to go to 19.5 based on this liquidity closer, but you never know. So, but this line is closer than that line. It would be easier to scoop that liquidity. You know, price action likes to go where it's the easiest to scoop the liquidity. So we'll go from there. Run for profit Fridays. Amen. Moon Village's bookmap separation looks like a spaced aircraft carrier. All right. Please, if you have $100 to spare, give the group a shot at least 1 month. I'd never regret being a part of a community that likes and love of what I'm learning. Of likes and love of what I'm learning. Thank you, man. Sam, what if we close the 200 MA on the daily? What if we close below it, you mean? You didn't say what if we close 200 MA. You didn't say below or above, Andre. We're a family. Lifers are always there. Group, love you, brother. Shout out to Toby in the house. Shout out to all my awesome moderators. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. CNC Ireland, the whole crew. Appreciate the love. Lifer friend and everybody else kicking it with me. Shout out to Love Learning out there. She may be busy today. Sean, Aaron, Lakochi Coker, and my whole team as we continue to help other people grind. You're the man, Sam. Just another dip. No fear. Love my lifers. Shout out to David DeBolt, my man. Have you learned TPO? How do I get more info about the class? If you want to learn the class is really just exactly what I'm doing. The more info is here, right here. I make the class, so the most info you can get is from me. So I design the class, I create the class, I teach the class. Ask people right now how they feel about being in the class. What has it done for them? What have they learned? And, did they suggest it's something that you take? And just see what they say. Grinding through all these tutorial videos, thank you. Anytime, just keep going. I had a fear a year ago when I saw these dumps. Now I'm DCing all the way down, knowing profits are coming. The class is the sauce. Crypto trade is not complete without Crypto Lifer. Shout out to my man, International Crypto Lifer. Thank you for your work. Another great day for more gains. Let's go. Shout out to Kai Hups. Jim Boy, 0.513. Next goal set for a whole coin by April. Unbelievable. I love that. Life gang. When would be the best time to join? Today, weekend, or Monday? Anytime you want. It starts on the day you join. So if you joined on the 10th of March, it'll it is a subscription service. It'll resubscribe you. It's basically like Netflix. It's going to charge you $100 every single month. Unless you take the deal $270 for 3 months, then it'll charge you $270 every 3 months. Sam Gaines, baby, Lifer Army. Shout out to everybody here. Just shoot for the email. The class is great, really informative, and you get a recording. The class is basically, someone said, what is the class? It's everything that I do. I'm going to teach you all the indicators that I add to my chart. I'm going to teach you the relationships between time frames. I'm going to, talk about and disclose kind of what is trend analysis and more. I'm going to talk about the relationship between the MACD and the moving averages. You're going to learn what a golden cross is and a death cross is. You're going to learn what latent indicators is. You're going to learn how a moving average is created, what it's made up of, and why it's made, and why you're going to learn the relationship between the 21 and the 200. You're going to learn about divergences. You're going to learn about the stochastics RSI and the relationship between the RSI. And you're going to learn about proper risk management. You're also going to have basically an equation to help you find stop losses and more. It's going to blow your mind. And I felt that little short squeeze coming. It just starts to oscillate. Like the circles start to circle up and then you get this, it's weird. Like it starts to shake quicker here when you get the short squeeze. Like, see how it's flat right here? It starts to kind of go crazy. How is this the music? I picked deep house music. Hopeless house. Hopeful house. And there's a little bit of a short squeeze here. 17K, 5K. And there's the, how did I don't know how, again, not a big deal, but you just see how it's doing this? See how that starts to flutter? That always happens right before a big squeeze. I see that it goes, and then it oscillates really quick, and it's and then the ball gets big, and then first the big ball comes, then it gets small, then it gets big, then it gets small, and then I know, boom, short squeeze is coming. It's almost like I can feel the short squeeze just on how this reacts. So weird. Not a big short squeeze, tiny one at best, right? So can the 7-minute pop back to the upside out of this little flag? That's the question, all right? We got support or resistance right here. You got this little mini support. Bounce, fell through, bounced again. You're holding 19,685. We went to as low as 19,574 already, and we got to bounce back to the upside. So only time will tell here. Only time will tell. Continuing to grab up some Bitcoin. And that's is what it is, man. Just grabbing up my Bitcoins, swing trading the shorts, grabbing some capital, and having fun, you know. So do we move back to the upside? I'm going to look at the bigger time frames. Right now I'm stuck on the 7, right? It gave us the first trade of the day. Can it give us the second trade of the day? 7-minute oversold. MACD about to make a move. You got falling volume with falling price. Suggests you will get it somewhat of a reversal here. Back to the upside as the sellers are falling to the downside. So I'd like to see this 7-minute get a pop. Measured move would take us to 20,500. Can we get back above 20K? Now 20K is going to be psychological. It's going to be a heavy area to deal with. Okay? And that brings me to my KUCOIN chart. And we're just going to look at the bigger areas to contend with. We're going to look at what's the worst case scenario here for Bitcoin. Do we go lower to 13K? Is that in the cards? How much money would that take? And let's just go over that possible scenario. So what is the worst case scenario, in my humble opinion, for Bitcoin? So let's zoom out and look at the bigger areas. I was doing a lot last night in the weekly screen share. I do heavy tutoring in the weekly screen share. It's like getting free tutoring. And people sign up for $300 an hour for my tutoring. If you join my group, you get basically a tutoring session once a week with other information, token metrics, and more. So much that we give to you to kind of really give you the move. Now look at BOOKMAP building more liquidity, showing that we will go higher. This does want 20K. Looks like the short squeeze will continue to the upside. They're basically liquidating people as we speak right now, 16K. And they're starting to stack the orders up. See how that order just came in? I would see another order get stacked up to 20,100. And look at the short squeeze starting again. It seems like it happens just when I come online every day at like 10:30. It looks like we could play a short squeeze almost every day at 10:30. Like it's just somewhere between 10:20 and 10:50. We get a short squeeze now almost every single day. Like, right? I mean, it's deja vu, right? So like, I'm not even good at this. You know, you could say I'm not even good at this. I just show up at the right time and it happens whenever I show up. Short squeezing them. And can we get the break out of that flag to the upside is the question. We want to see this push up. What's so cool is to see the short squeeze and have the pattern in conjunction and watch it all kind of play out on both ends, right? Ooh, that was fun. That was fancy. So we could do this, right? And just like, and understand, see this cup here? That's this cup here. This flag is this flag here. You get it? This is price action. That's the flag that we're watching here on the 7. Understanding that concept is key. So now we're seeing the orders that make up the candles. Okay? We're seeing the orders that make up the candles. That's why I use BOOKMAP. I can see that, you know, it's the same. Look, the peak, the second peak, the drop. The peak, the second peak, the drop. Did I just blow your mind or did you already know that? You probably already did, but I bet some people just saw that for the first time. They're like, wait, oh. And what BOOKMAP is like having the 1 second chart too. I mean, you're getting the data as fast as humanly possible. Okay? Can we have a Marv update? Poor guy works so hard for us every single day. Marv is doing absolutely great. Marv is kicking it. I'm about to say, let me get the Marv cam out. I could set up Marv cam right now, like insane while I'm live, but pointless, right? I was using this chat AI. It looks pretty cool, but every time I think I'm going to use something like that, I forget about it. So Marv, a.k.a. the Moist Maker. You're funny. Sam, there are candles on BOOKMAP. They can be laid over the bubbles. Thank you for saying that. How do you do that? How do you lay the candles over the bubbles? I did not know that. Configure add-ons. Settings. Bought that Bitcoin this morning. Hey, Sam, there are candles on BOOKMAP. I'm waiting for this. Why does it show you get less with the 6 month for the year membership? Why does it show you get less with the 6 month / year membership? I'm confused. It doesn't. It's cut off because 3 months is 270. 6 months is 500. The year is 1,000. So I don't know what you're saying. You don't get less. You get more. Marvin Snowy, 24/7 spinoff live stream. What I want to do is take all my live streams. Jamie, I want to make a new channel called Crypto Lifer 24/7. All right? And I want to take, I want to basically take a bunch of live streams and put them in together. And then I just want to run a constant live stream all the time. I guess I would have to get a separate internet connection for that. I don't know exactly how we do that, but that's what the bigger channels are doing. It would be cool to just run 24/7 Crypto Lifer all the time. We could pause it when I go live and then just run it back again, I guess. I don't know. It'll be so funny. But I had an idea of running a 24/7 Bitcoin channel, just taking all my videos and running them in a stream, because you can learn from almost every single one of them. I remember pre-booking 10 sessions back when you first started. Never looked back since. Shout out to my man Stone1 YGM, my man. Hanging out, banging on them. And that's another thing. I have people that have been watching me for a long time. You know, a lot of scammers on YouTube, they just keep going through the washing machine for the next few people. No. Like CNC Ireland, this guy, he's been here since I first started. Stone1 GM been here since I first started. A lot of people on this live stream have been watching me since I first began, since we first got this going on, since the lifers first came into existence. You know what I mean? And, yeah. Obviously, there's been haters along the way. People come and go. It happens, but the majority of people that are true to themselves and that care about me and that care about the love, truly supportive of the lifer movement. And, man, who goes live every single day? Like, at one point, I'm not motivated by the money, because honestly, the money does the opposite. You start making so much money and you're like, I could take a day off of work. They don't need me every day. Like, you know, I give them enough calls. I'm going to take Friday off from now on. You know what I mean? And I could easily do that and go fishing or something and go, God, I don't do that. I don't do it. You know why? Because I'm in love with the legacy. I'm in love with saying that I haven't taken a day off. I think it's amazing. I think it's, you know what I mean? It's nuts. It's absolutely insane. To me, it's absurd. My dad thinks it's insane. My dad's like, I've never seen someone work like that. He's like, you deserve everything you have. I never seen it. He's like, freaking work like a freaking... It's funny, man. I watch you and Jason Casper and Thomas Paletto. That's it. I started watching you when you came on BitBoy channel a first time, and I knew you knew your stuff right away and started following you. How did you know I knew my stuff? From watching me one time. It's your trademark, not taking off a single day. I know, right? Once I do that, I'm over. It's over. I lose the trademark. Old timers work so hard. Gotta love it. I love Jason. Jason's the man, man. Go follow Jason Casper whenever you get the chance. Such a nice dude, and he's consistent with what he does. You crushed it, bro, on Around the Blockchain. Thank you. You can tell who really cares by looking at who stayed consistent in the bear market and who was only present in the bull, saying Moon Boy. Configure visible components next to the lock button. Candlestick bars. Configure next to the lock button. Next to the lock bars. Candlestick bars. Oh, but they're like corny though. That's funny. But they're kind of cool. That's interesting. I'll leave it on for now. I don't know if I like it though. Yeah. The chicken water and the uneven butt cheek. You gotta love it. The first time I watched live on ATP, the TA was spot on, man. Thank you. Take some time off before you get burned out, bro. People said that, but you know what I mean? You know, you won't get burned out as long. You know, like today, I'll take a nap at 2 o'clock, 2:30. I'll take a nap. Like, I take care of myself. You know what I mean? I get a massage once every couple of weeks. Like, I take care of myself. All right? Like so many YouTubers walked away at the beginning of the bear and now are trying to come back. Stay in your basements with your cameras off. Oh, man. You don't burn out if you love what you do, see? Yeah, burnout is a state of mind, man. Lifer, you should have one too. Have what too? I do. That's called the weekly screen share from every single week, dude. I have a VIP live stream, man. It's a weekly screen share every single week. You're like, he gives himself enough love. Don't worry. Shout out to Crypto Wifer. Wow. Throwing shots at the kid. Wow. He's legit when he gets off. He is straightforward. You're the short squeed wizard, bro. Thank you. Sam made me a morning person. We used to be up 8 a.m. for the stream. Yep. Super chat. Could you look at JHX? Oh, yeah, the stream started at 9, right? 9 a.m. first. He likes to take 10-minute naps. Unemployment came in at 3.6. How you like them apples, right? Life or friend. He deserves to be any way he wants. Sam the man. Shout out to Sheffrey, man. We love you. I got the super, said Toby. Thank you. Haven't missed a day in 2023 since I joined you. You've inspired me and have changed my life in more ways than just trading. Shout out to Avid Davidson Lifer. May God bless you, man. He says, gives himself enough. Sounds like he's been cloning alone. That's pretty funny. Never clone alone. 7-minute going, but flag not moving. Interesting. Yeah, just flat. Just complete flat. Look at that. Just no movement in the price action right now. Your boys sent you a super chat earlier today. Thank you, brother. God bless you. I see it. Looks like someone asked about GHX. Let's take a look at it. So right now we're going to watch this 7-minute flag on Bitcoin. Looks like it may end up making this a shoulder, kind of a head and a right shoulder, and dumping down on us. If the 7-minute comes all the way down and starts to roll over and we don't get above that point of control, it's likely we're going to head back inside this pattern, and we end up back inside this pattern. It's likely we drop down all the way to 18,359. I haven't even looked at the 1 hour yet. I've been stuck on the 7. Let's take a look. 1 hour's overbought. About to dump on your face, and you didn't get above a previous high, so you're making a lower low. Here's your low. Here's your high. Here's your low. Here's your lower high. You must assume you put in a lower low. So right now I'm calling short. I'm calling Bitcoin's going to go to the downside, and the measured move is 18,350. Pretty simple for me. I'm calling short for Bitcoin. All right. I'm calling a short for Bitcoin down to 18,350, and that's going to be a nice place to kind of begin to nibble. I really like this ensemble today, the blue with the red. I picked it out last night. I usually don't pick out what I'm going to wear the night before, but last night I said, man, I want to know what I'm going to wear tomorrow. And I started looking. I said, I hadn't wear the red in a while. I get so many shirts, and then I get obsessed with like colors and patterns. All right. So it's not even about the money more. It's like I don't want to bore you guys, and I don't want to show up with the same shirt every day. I just don't. And I don't want you to see a shirt and be like, he wore that last week. You know what I mean? Granted, white shirts are white shirts. So I want to just keep it moving. All right. Shout out to the 743 people souls in the live, 290 people. So we're watching. I'm calling short for Bitcoin, right? We'll watch the 7-minute time frame. It could change. If the 7-minute pump's fine, it might change the story. Let's look at our 15. 15 minutes coming down, actually, which is interesting. So 15-minute could save the day on the one. So we'll watch this. Get rid of my moving averages for a second for the new people so they can kind of clearly see what I'm saying here. So look. You kind of had a resistance there. You bounced there. A tiny little SR flip on the 7. You bounced back up. We had that little flag that played out on the 7. All right. Now the 15-minute could either drop us further down. I mean, I'll trade that 1 hour. The 1 hour is bearish as all hell, right? And wants to bring us down. So I'm short right now on Bitcoin. You couldn't get a previous high. The Stokes want to push you down. Short on Bitcoin. And I could be wrong. Maybe I'm 100% wrong and we pump all the way up. It could happen. I'm not 100%. Not every single time do I make a call for Bitcoin. Is it correct? I am wrong. We'll make that really clear. Look, I said it. I am wrong. I can be wrong. I'm not always correct. All right? I'm just going to give you the probability. Right now, the probability is that the 1 hour dumps us to the downside. We end up back inside this pattern. The 7-minute just goes in, and then we end up to the downside. Not a lot of liquidity on BOOKMAP. Right? Just a huge buy wall of 20,200. And honestly, 19.5 is kind of still hanging in the weeds there. So if I have to make a call, I'm going to watch the 15-minute and the 7. 15-minute could change the day and maybe get a big pump. It is oversold, so you got to watch that. But if you start to roll over here, and I'm seeing a head and shoulder here. Shoulders, head, right shoulder, right shoulder. It's kind of a complex head and shoulder. It's got head and shoulder vibes. I don't care, It's got head and shoulder vibes to me. Looking bearish. Well, that was a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder there too, though. Look at that. Shoulder, head, shoulder. It's a slanted trunk and inverted on the 5. But you're at resistance, point of control, and you're overbought. That says you're about to roll over, and you couldn't get above the zone. So right now, and then look, this is even a little flag here. And that wants to break you down. That's a bear flag. I mean, you see this? You see the bear flag I'm talking about here? I know I got a lot going on. It's a bear flag to the downside, 5-minute time frame overbought. So the smaller time frames confirm that you couldn't get it back above the point of control, 19,900. All right. You got to understand the idea. Once you make a sloping wedge to the downside, find the beginning of the wedge right here. Make that your point where you have to get back above. Like Bitcoin has to close a daily or 4-hour candle above 20,420 to remain bullish. If we can't get back above that zone, forget it. It's not happening. You see what I'm saying? So this is kind of how I urge you to look at things. So that's going to be our next heavy resistance. Like if we can't get back above 20,400, so if we make a bump up here and we get rejected, no good. So I'm bearish right now based on the 1-hour time frame, looking very overbought, wanting to dump on our face, right? And the smaller time frames are attempting to do something. I don't see it happening. So 5-minute is a bear flag. And then all we want is basically the price, and we're getting wicked down. Again, this could pump all the way up and do a short squeeze, and I could be completely wrong. And you know, I want to make that really clear. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. If everything I said was right, then it would be right, but it's not. That's just not the case, okay? So I'm seeing a head and shoulder. I'm seeing a flag on the 5. I'm seeing the only thing that's keeping me going is the 15-minute. And can the 15-minute throw a Hail Mary and break us to the upside? Kind of this flag here on the 15. Measured move would take you the length of the base of this pole here. The 15-minute could get us to 20,400. So we could wait out the 15. I personally would open up a short right now. But you could wait out the 15 to be more precise for the short to here. And then boom. You see? Once the 50-minute gets overbought, it confirms that you couldn't get above the zone. Then you got overbought 1 hour and overbought 15-minute. And you'll probably slide back into this falling wedge. And if you slide back into the falling wedge, then you have to put into account that the measured move is now back on board at 18,362. So that's my idea for Bitcoin for the day. I am bearish on Bitcoin. Every day I go over Bitcoin for about between 15 and an hour, depending. Sometimes it takes an hour. It depends on how much I have to analyze to kind of figure out what it's given me. And then I make a call on it. And today I'm bearish on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the BTC USDT 3S, which you could trade on MEXC, 3x short. You could also trade it on KUCOIN. All right. And let's just see, right now, same idea. So it does. I'm a diamond? No. I'm a no. So the short pump nicely. I'm attempting to make heads or tails out of it. Hold on. Be a chocolate? Be explosion, be a target? I don't know. So here, you're looking, that is kind of an M. You got some bearish divvy there that played out. So you're looking for this 15-minute on the short to come on down, right? Then this flag may stay intact. Then what happens is you're going to have an oversold 1 hour on the short and an oversold 15-minute. And this would be a little scalp off the short, and that would be Bitcoin falling out of that falling wedge to the downside. You see? The smaller charts will play off even better, like Matic 3L and 3S and Dot 3S, stuff of that nature. Again, we are extended 8-hour bigger time frames are telling you, hey, you're kind of getting risky opening up the short at this point. So that's something you have to heed. But smaller time frames could still kind of layer out a scalp here. So that's what I'm watching up until about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we'll either figure out that Bitcoin got short so there's two scenarios today. Bitcoin's going to get short squeezed. This is going to make an M pattern. This could make an M and make a nice dump down, and that could be Bitcoin back above 20,400. We get back above at least the first safe zone that I talk about, right? But I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now until it shows me something different. All right. Bigger ideas that I have for you here. I just have the orders that you want to look at, like the layers that you want to look at. So we lost 20,005 as we talked about. Next really big stop is 19,265. We lose that area. We have a little bit of a stop over here at 18,800. And then it's 17,650, 500 area, right? It's a range. We lose that, it's point of control at 16,200. We lose that, it's the new low at 15.5. And then, who knows? Do we make a lower low? Who here thinks we could make a lower low? Does Bitcoin make a lower low? That's what I want to know. It's a good tweet right there. You know what I mean? Who here thinks Bitcoin can make a new lower low? If I could ever type, I would love it. Who here thinks, might want to write Bitcoin and not Bitcoin. Who here thinks Bitcoin can make a new lower low? Let me know. Independent for the win. And this is what I wanted to say too today. What diehard Republicans and diehard Democrats do not understand is there's a large group of people who are loyal to neither party because we have no associated bias. We just want the truth. If your political bias blocks you from the truth, you have to ask yourself, when are you using logic or opinions? For example, the Twitter files. Corruption is corruption. If you call anything you do not agree with a conspiracy theory, how will you ever find the truth for yourself? Surely we all have had a time in our lives where our opinions clouded our judgment. The key is to learn from those moments and grow to be more open-minded. And the thing that I always go to is it's in the movies. We've all had a friend. I think it happened to me. Your friends see that the girl you're with is treacherous and not good. But, she done a couple nice things for you and you've fallen in love with her and your friends are telling you, hey, man, this person is bad for you. I'm telling you right now. She did this with this person. She did that with that person. You just can't see it. And you're like, no, I love her. So because of your bias, you can't see the logical facts that are in front of you. Happens to women too. Their friends are saying, he's bad. He cheated on my friend's friend. He did this with this girl. And the girl's like, nah, but he loves me. He loves me. Like their ego wants them to believe. So once you get a bias in your head, if you've ever made that mistake, you got to just step back. And honestly, at the end of the day, it's about preservation of our country. Like our country is the most important thing. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about the truth. The truth will prevail too. And sometimes it hurts. My favorite rapper, G, his album out in, I think, 2004, The Truth Hurts, man. The Truth Hurts. And I used to listen to that album all the time. And you know what? The truth does hurt. You know what I mean? Especially when you're not ready to deal with it. So, truth hurts a lot of people. All right. So I had to make that statement because lately I'm seeing people that just refuse to look at the facts because of their political bias. It's come on, man. You got to be open-minded here. That's what I love about crypto. If you're deeply into crypto, it's hard to be all one thing. It's hard to be all Democrat, hard to be all Republican because both sides don't really give the Kryptonians exactly what we ask for. Both sides don't really give, and that's why I say we need a blockchain party. We're not really represented by both sides fully. You know what I mean? We could choose at one point which kind of fits us the most, but the blockchain party, man. And why the blockchain party? Because we need the blockchain to secure the Constitution. The Constitution is being played with, and it needs to be put on the blockchain. Every time someone tries to do something to it, we need to say, no. You are infringing on the Constitution. Every single budget needs to be on the blockchain. Every single time we pay any employee in the government, I want to see it. I should be able to go to a website right now, and I should be able to see every single payment that our government has ever made. I guess some things are national security. We can't see every. I guess that's how it ends up being under the guise, right? So look at 7-minute short squeeze, and they want to head to the big bar liquidity here at 20,200. So they didn't care. See? So even though I had a prediction that we could go lower, they short squeeze us. However, I'm still feeling that you're overbought on the 7. It's not like you're getting this massive move, right? Called that first pump. See, the morning started with this little flag here. Pumped up to the 200 SMA. Shredded back down. Coming up again. I'm not really impressed until we break the previous high at 20,400. That's really going to be, To me, you're in a rising wedge, 68% chance of a break to the downside, and you continue in this channel. So I'm still I'm not budging from my bearish scenario. You're getting overbought on the 5, the 7. 15-minute is the only time frame that could give you a huge pump. And as I showed you, it could bring you all the way here to 20,605 because, look, that's the length of this pole. You take away this flag for a second here. You did break out, technically of this, like, weird little flag. I guess you could do this. That's the falling wedge there. Looks better on the smaller time frame, right? Like the 7 has a little more. And you pump up to the 200 SMA yet again. 15-minute is strong right now. I have to give it that. That's the issue with trading is you got to give each, like, you want a short, but the 15 minutes low. So I said, even when I showed up the short, I said I wouldn't open up the short right now. I said open up a short. The thing is, you do one or two things. You could either be super precise. I would want this short to come down first, reset on the 15-minute before I entered it, right? Because the odds are that it's overbought right now, all right? Now, you could still open a short with a deeper stop loss, and this can all occur, and it doesn't matter. It's how precise do you want to be? That's kind of like, that's something I always have a hard time conveying. It's about how precise you want to be. For instance, I'm going to draw an idea. So you'll see price action. So you see price action, right? And you'll be like, all right. But like, all right, I want to do it perfectly. Hold on. So you're looking at price action. Here's your 1 hour time frame on the Stokes, and your 1 hour's down here ready to rock. And your price action's kind of like something like this. But then you look at your 15, and your 15 minutes kind of like this. Right? And so what you do is you wait for the 50-minute to come back down to enter the trade. However, you could forget the 50-minute altogether. Just set support or resistance lines with like a stop right here and enter in on the 1 hour. You don't always have to wait for the smaller time frame to reset. That's my insanely anal strategy, which I created, right? It's not easy to do too. You have to, my strategies they're not easy to replicate because they shouldn't be. If they were easy to replicate, everyone could do it and everyone would be able to make money. So that's why I have a trading school, and that's why I teach you my strategies, right? But it doesn't mean you have to follow every single thing I do exactly to a T. You know what I mean? So, and there's times where I don't do the preciseness of the 7 and the 15, and I just enter the 1 or the 4 hour, and I put a stop loss where I believe I'll be safe. And I don't get into the crazy minutia, and I don't set 100 alerts, and I'm not waiting on all the perfect things. You know what I mean? I'm giving you both. The fact is, I teach you both. I could teach you the insanely anal, highly detailed entry point, or you can go with the general idea that the time frame you're in will take care of you. It's up to you. That's up to you, and I can't make those decisions for you. Nobody can. So everybody wants someone to trade for them and do it for them, but nobody can. All right? Nobody can. You got to have to eventually, if you want to become the trader you want to be, these are the decisions you have to make for yourself. All right? So, I remember when 12 people were in this chat. Me too. Shout out to Greg, man. Crypto Greg. Not funny. Shout out to Greg, man, from back in the day, man. I'm hitting these positions up in increments and watch for one good low grab on the 1 minute for now. How much do you charge? He's giving y'all the sauce. Bearish divergence to the 1 hour. Crypto Greg from back in the... Remember Crypto Greg? I have never identified as a Republican or a Democrat. Near Madison, Wisconsin, there's so many Democrats, though. People love to bring up politics at the family things and gatherings with friends. Seems like a waste. Most of them are brainwashed, man. Most of them are brainwashed. So let's take a look at the DXY and see what's happening on the DXY today. Friday, one of the worst days to trade. DXY took a dumpage. Think the Bitcoin would have got way more of a pump out of that, right? So, look, we are in this rising wedge. This music is strange. I just want some good house music. Can I just get some good house? That's not ridiculous, you know? None of these are like the house I like. It's all right. Background house for a Friday. Shout out to everybody here. How many people we got on the live? 748 people on the live stream. 758 people concurrent, 332 likes. Can we get the likes up to the watchers? How come I have to ask for the likes every single time? Why is that? Actually, and I don't always ask for them. But how come every day? Like every single day? Like there was a couple days I didn't say anything and the likes went up. But why do I have to like? I'm just asking everybody here. Why do I have to ask for the likes every single day? I'm just asking. Why? You know what I mean? I put a tie on. Like honestly, I could put a shirt on and show up. It's not. I mean, it's not the hardest thing to wear a tie, but not everyone else does it. I have to spend an extra 10 minutes. Today I had to do the tie twice. I messed it up. I was late by a minute doing my tie. You know what I mean? This is my 1 year anniversary with the 99. Thanks for all the golden education. Matt Stevens in 1 year. Talk about leave a testimonial about your first year in the group, man. Let people know. You know? Sorry I'm late. So happy to see the pump. Everything you taught me helps stay in the long. Strong bullets divergence in 30. Thank you so much. Just like baby. Thank you, brother. Sorry I'm late. So happy to see the pump. Everything you taught me helped me stay in the long. Matt Stevens, congrats, man. You're being a lifer. That's awesome. It's because people are takers, not givers. It's not in their system. I think real support is at 18,400 BTC. Everyone's smiling now. Love the TA, Sam. Thanks for the work. Make it a habit to like before he even shows up. Happy anniversary, man. God bless you, Sammy. Thanks for yesterday's amazing screen share. God bless you, man. I think people don't want to help others succeed. Try to be the first like. I was just asking. Who knows? You know what I mean? Anyway, the dollar index fell out of the wedge. This is a good sign. All right? We had a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. However, the daily's oversold and wants to bounce on you. You look at the daily, you're kind of like, you got a bearish engulfer, though, that, daily's getting bearish. 4 hours beat to the ground, says it can't really go much lower. 15 minutes beat. 7 minutes is coming back up for a bearish retest, hopefully. So we got the drop. Not bad. But do we break back inside the pattern is the question. What is the 1 hour doing? 1 hour wants to bounce like Bitcoin doesn't. So, honestly, this looks like a kind of like a bear trap in a way for the dollar index. Break it down. Let's see it bearishly retest and drop. To me, it looks like it's about to recover back up, though, on the stochastics. Could be a bear flag here. Get some mixed signals on the smaller time frame. So here, smaller time frames, minutia. But you're going to watch the 1 hour. You don't want to get back inside this pattern. You want to break back inside. If the 1 hour gets inside here, this rising wedge could break out again. So I'd love to see this stay out of the pattern. Kind of feel like it's there, but nice drop for the dollar index. Back to 104.21. Feel like it got propped up yesterday falsely. Superchats, JXX, thoughts on KUCOIN situation. You know, people asking about KUCOIN. In my mind, they're just going to pay off, or they'll just kick off the U.S. customers. Like, right now, they don't really allow U.S. customers in a way. If you say you're from the U.S., I don't think you can use KUCOIN, right? So, but there's the gray area, right, where they allow someone just to be kind of ambiguously on there. So that's what New York's trying to do, but they're not from New York, so they don't really fall under New York jurisdiction. So all they have to do is just say they either kick off all New Yorkers, which a lot of exchanges did, like Bittrex kicked off New Yorkers, but you could still use it if you were in Massachusetts. So what they could do is just kick out New Yorkers completely. What could happen, which is kind of scary for us, is they will force KYC like Binance did, and you won't be able to trade it non-KYC. So all you lucky people that aren't in the U.S. that are with me, you'll be able to continue to trade KUCOIN, but the U.S. people won't. That will be the worst thing that happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the worst thing that can happen is KUCOIN will make KYC mandatory because when it does that, and then if you say from the U.S., it'll immediately kick you off the platform and say we don't allow you, and that way they won't be under U.S. jurisdiction. That's how Binance.com took care of it. They basically just said, "Oh, you're gonna come after us? We don't deal with your people, so you can't come after us." So that's the deal with KUCOIN. That's what's happening. KUCOIN's getting sued by Letitia James of the New York District Attorney's Office. You know what I mean? They're saying that ETH was a security, though, and that's a whole nother ball of wax. That brings you back into the SEC case with XRP and more, and we still don't have the clarity. So, to me, smoke and mirrors, you know, and I've heard all this before. So I hope, and honestly, you can use a VPN all you want to go to Binance.com, but you still can't trade. They won't let you trade until you verify your identity. So, and if you're a U.S. citizen, you can't verify your identity. So I guess I don't know how someone would go about it. You'd have to get a family member that lives in another country to create an account for you or something. And again, I'm not going to tell anyone, you know, I follow the rules, do the right thing, right? So that's basically the worry, what people are worried about. So I wouldn't be worried. MEXC right now staying strong. Yeah, lawyers need more lawsuits. Lawyers need money. Exactly. So the dollar index, I mean, you could get a recovery here. Oversold in the 30-minute, oversold on the 1 hour. It's trying to bounce. Only the smaller time frame say no way. So that doesn't look good for this short, you know. In my mind, I see Bitcoin taking a tumble. 1 hour looks absolutely horrible. And the 1 hour's been the one that's been dumping us recently. It dumped us here. It dumped us there. The massive dumps that we've had so far have been on the 1 hour time frame. Right now, you are oversold again on the 1 hour. All right. I mean, overbought. Forgive me, please. I do this every day. Sometimes I say something wrong. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Shout out to BitBoy and the Bit Squad. God bless BitBoy, man, and everything he's done for all the YouTubers out here, for my channel, and for everybody. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to DZ, Frankie Candles, Jason Casper, Eric Crown, Mitch Ray, all the awesome YouTubers that inspired me to change my life and go after something different. May God bless all of them. It's about getting really ugly customer acquisition cost with the digital dollar that they're rolling out. It's about to get real ugly. I think so too. I'm KYC and KUCOIN and haven't had any problems. Interesting. Dang, I only use KUCOIN. Superchats, GXX, and thoughts on KUCOIN. Yeah, so I take it one step at a time, man. One step at a time. You know? What do you think of the market is backwards with everything good is bad and everything bad is good? Because the powers that be do not want to give it up. What's going on?
Dinner with cannolis tonight. Want to go?
Sure. Where, though?
Dinner place.
Okay. With the cannolis. Oh, and I'm going to have to play that movie. Ask him that I'm only coming over if he'll watch The Secret of Roan Inish. Because it's about his family. Like his family name's in the video. It's so funny. The Secret of Roan Inish. Jamie! Jamie, the baby! Who here has seen The Secret of Roan Inish? It's an old school independent flick out of Ireland from like the mid-90s. Anyone here seen The Secret of Roan Inish? And it's about the Selkies, the people that live with the seals. Famous actress in it too. You know what I mean? Mara Scarry wrote it. The Secret of Roan Inish. Never heard of it. Well, I have now. Funny Burke, right? Me and Burke had this a private meeting yesterday. I was like, this movie's amazing. All right? You got to watch this movie. All right? It stars Jenny Courtney, Aline Colgan, and Mick Lely. All right? It's an old Irish flick. Young Fiona lives with her grandparents in a small fishing village where she takes an active role to unravel the mysteries and the secrets of the Shalkies and the Sulkies and the people that live with the seals. Python, baby, Python. He chooses Python, man. I love that. But Secret of Roan Inish, you gotta see it. It'll change your life forever. An amazing movie. Also, The War of the Buttons. The War of the Buttons really changed my life. Oh, wait, The War of the Buttons. Wait. The War of the Buttons. Will that come up? Can't even. Yeah, War of the Buttons here. 1994, Greg Fitzgerald. Another good Irish flick of the War of the Buttons. Dude, I love this movie. Changed my life too. My dad used to make me watch all these independent Irish flicks. You got to watch The War of the Buttons. All right? And you got to watch The Secret of Roan Inish. Change your life. I'm done. I'm done for today. So look, everything in a bit of a bear flag here. Looks like we're going to take a bit of a tumble. or a double bottom at one point. Something's brewing on the 1 hour time frame. Let's wait out this 1 hour. When the 1 hour resets, possibly we can get back into business here, trading long on these alts. Lawless is with us, the crypto life of the Lord. Boiler room seems to be more appropriate at the moment. Just 3 billionaires can buy all crypto. Scary. It's crazy, right? What do you mean 3 billionaires can buy all crypto? What do you mean? No, that's not true. All crypto is like $1 trillion market cap almost. 900 billion. What, they're all worth 300 billion? I see what you're saying. Yeah. Like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and one of, they're all worth like 250 bill. They could all buy the entire crypto industry. Irish by marriage, you're funny. Are you picking up what's being put down? Profitos on lock, banged on him. Shout out to Arthur Farquhar, my man. Waking up this morning, 990, kind of sideways price action right now. Yeah, see, I wasn't feeling that. Like, that little pump was just lackluster, man. Once this 15-minute kind of roll is over, I see the 1 hour taking control. Measured move is 18,340. And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm short Bitcoin. I'm just waiting on the 15-minute to give me the best entry. And the 15-minute could change things, though. That's why I love my style. While I wait for the 15-minute, what if the 15-minute pumps and we get above a resistance? Then I don't open up the short, see? I love my style because if you wait for the 15-minute, it should give you pretty good confirmation. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't think I say you should be taken as such. But over time, it should give you good confirmation. All right? Catch me on Around the Blockchain every single Thursday. You see that little awesome logo every single Thursday. I'm on Around the Blockchain at 5 p.m. Can't wait to see you there. God bless you all for coming on in. So, again, I'm calling a short on BTC. And, let me go to a new chart and be fresh on it. That's what I do. I don't know what you guys do, but I'll go to like a Bitcoin Coinbase chart. I'll delete all my old work and the moving averages for a second, and I'll just look at price action. And I'll ask myself, what do I see? And I try to unbias my previous bias, right? So I'm like, all right. I get a heavy resistance right here. I'm kind of, look, there's a support there, resistance there, and then I got like two major little local supports there and there. So it tells me that we could go lower. We're in the middle. We have a gap in the VRVP. I look at the 1 hour just open-minded. And I almost kind of want to start doing this and just saying that's the flag. And see, I didn't see that before. I didn't make that before. It didn't hit me because I was too into the previous TA that I made. But when I look at it naked again, and I said naked, yes, I can see the difference possibly of, and I can kind of begin to be like, okay, well, that's a rising wedge that could break to the downside, is it not? And the 1 hour looks horrible, does it not? And this is your previous high right there that you have to get back above 20,400. Like I said before, you wicked up to it. You couldn't get back above it. When I slap on the moving averages, the only thing I see too, you're getting a little far apart for the 21 and the 200. Eventually that will make a connection, like those get pushed back together. And then this is likely to fall further down to the next point, which is 18,961, and then could even go lower down to 18,291. So still looking short to me, in my humble opinion. All right. Only thing that's kind of holding us, though, there's a very strong bullish divergence in the 1 hour. But it pumped up to resistance. Usually bullish divergence works out till you get to resistance, and that's about it. Okay? 437 likes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all for jumping on in. We have 753 people here. Why we don't have 753 likes? Because a lifer that watches me is a true lifer. I'm sure we have some people. I found out yesterday there's some people that watch me that hate me. I found it out. Because they said things that there's people that watch me that can't stand me. And for whatever reason, they continue to watch me. They're obsessed with watching me. They love it, but they hate it. Like, they don't like me, but they tune in every single day and they eat it up. I don't understand. I guess it happens. Rain stops, sun's out. Got to do some work. Peace from the Peace State. Peaches to beaches. Come out to the South's biggest social yard sale this week. Love you, folks. Are you from Georgia? Hate watchers, Sam. It's how you know you made it. Gina, thank you. Nah, Gina. Hims need a spanking. You're funny, man. It's crypto life. Could be, but it's a stretch in my opinion. You good, bro. Weird and funny sometimes. Annoying, then you make me laugh, man. Hi, can you recap? No. I love you, men. That's weird. You love men or you love me? You love me, man. I don't know. I love men. It looks like you said. I'm sorry, man. You can't hate, envy, despise, but you could you can't hate, envy, despise, but you can't deny. Or you can hate, envy, despise, but you can't deny the DA, right? Haha, can you recap? No. You're a wonderful human, bro. Thank you, Rockton Road, man. I found you a few days ago. Been watching vigorously since. You're awesome, bro. Thank you, man. God bless you. When it's this many people, no, I mean a few. When this many people know you, I mean a few won't like you. Weekly RSI for the win, boys. When I watch people I like and have good info, I hit the like as I start the video. If I don't, I wait sometimes. I think if anyone listens to a full stream, they would like the info you provide. Yeah, so they'll just let them kind of kick it in. Best TA in the interwebs. Greetings. Lifer wears a tie because he's a pro. You're funny, man. You have to be logged in. Crypto Fox. I don't know what he's saying. Watcher 741 likes 486. Pay the man. Smash that like button. Haters are how you know you made it. Yeah, no one hated on me when I was depressed. I used to say that. Like, someone came to me one time and like tried to, and I was like, no one hated on me when I was depressed in my room, going through depression. Like, no one was hating on me. I mean, this short is likely to play out now. I mean, it's ugly. Look at it. It's an ugly flag. That almost broke out, broke back in again. This thing is ugly in more than one way. Anything could happen, but I'm remaining short. 15-minute will confirm the short when it begins to roll over, and I even see like a kind of a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder there. It's not the best, but I got some vibes. The only thing that could save us is my crazy trick where we pump up to the 200 SMA on the 15-minute. But we might dump first and then do that. And again, that's like this did it. It was tight and it pumped up to the 200 SMA, H-bar. It's a funny little trick. So the whole market's watching Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the total market cap. And we're going to get to GHX in a second and PAWSWAP. I apologize for taking some time there. I'll get into those. So total market cap. Same thing that we talked about. It fell out of the falling wedge. When falling wedges break out, I'd say, they say 68. It's almost like 88, 98. But those 10% of the times that they fall drastically down to the downside. We still have a nice bullish divvy. And even though I am calling short, what if we double bottom here and we stop at 875? So we have $875 billion is a level we have to watch. Okay? It's me, mommy. She's feeling spicy today. DXY, hold 104.10. And now bouncing. Watch FET, please, bro. Hey, you daytime. Shout out to everybody. I should have said hi earlier, but shout out to Toby. We love you, brother. Hi, Gina. Yeah, Gina's kind of a celebrity in here. Yeah, you don't have to say hi to her. Like, you just got to wave at her from afar. She's on the balcony like, hello. Shout out to everybody. AGIX reviewed yet? Nope. Toby, no worries. You are busy. You're straight class, bro. Everything you do. Shout out to you, grow and I grow. God bless you, man. You're electric, man. No, you're electric. Zing! It's gotta move. Baha, oh my God. Y'all need to try the trading group and you would never quit or / regret it. My ego goes up after I leave here. Funny. Sandy, cup and handy. Funny. Gina, LOL, Bombina. And wow, the short squeeze is pushing to 20,000. And they squeeze the shorts, man. On a Friday. They want 20,001. Looks like they may get up to this big red bar at 20,200. And maybe I'm wrong on my short, which I'm always confused. I'm like, I'm supposed to be right. I'm right every time. It's like, no, I'm not right every time. But I have been, the probability that I use trading has been pretty spot on over time. But, only time will tell. You have rising volume And prices attempting to rise here, bearish, right? Can we say shorts are getting confirmed with this short squeeze? Gina's legend is a legend in the game. Much love. Is the trading group so much love in there? It gives me a great day every day. Alex, I love that you're saying that. That's kind of part of it. You know what I mean? Will you flip if we get 20,450? Oh, I mean, right now, even though I am short, that 15-minute wants to push. So I always give the 15-minute what it's supposed to get. And actually, I can't believe I'm doing this, but there's kind of a cup and handle there, right? Shammy cup and handy to the upside. Does that cup and handle bang on them? I didn't see it yet. And as I said before, I did say I was short, but I'm waiting out on the 15-minute. See, this is what people don't understand. They're like, and if the 15-minute does something different, it'll change my bias. You get it? If we double top here on the 15-minute, like if we do something like this, like we come up and we double top here. It's kind of an M pattern. You see that, how I drew it? When we come up here and we double top on this 15 and we get a, and this starts to roll, that's right. But if this just continues to pump up to the 200 SMA, honestly, I guess I should just trade to the 200 SMA on every single time frame. We got a scalp of the 7-minute already. 15-minute says it's going to happen here. 15-minute has the legs. So before I'd open up the short, and then the 1 hour is still overbought. You have to remember there's still a short looming on that 1 hour, in my humble opinion. We just have to wait for the 15-minute to play out in the momentum. 15-minute may pump up to the 200 SMA first, then the 15-minute will be overbought. And that's why I use the 15-minute in tandem with the 1 hour time frame. Okay, and that's why it's not easy to, that's why I don't do signals. Because I could give a signal and things could change a minute later. You know what I mean? I got to teach you how I found my way, and it's not always perfect. You know what I mean? It's like wrestling a horse. Like, no one has exactly the way to do it. You know, you got to, it's like cowboys. Everyone has, you find the traditional outline of how things are done, and then you tweak it in real time, like while you're actually doing it, right? There's a cup and handle there. I did see it late, so I don't want to be like, oh, I found that cup and handle, and there it is. Like, I didn't know it was going to do that. You know what I mean? And, the other day I thought about it, and I shouldn't admit this. I shouldn't. But the other day I thought about it. I go live every single day. There might be a couple days where my brain is rusty. There was one day like 2 or 3 weeks ago where I was like, I admitted I was just in a cloud. I was like, I just couldn't see the charts the same way. I was like, my brain just ain't the same. And I had to admit to everybody, I said, everyone, I'm in a cloud today. Like, I just don't have it. Now, I haven't been in a cloud in a long time, but it's kind of like writer's block. You know what I mean? Someone writes all the time and then hit writer's block. I'm like, I hope I never hit chart block. What if I got charter's block and I just couldn't move for like 3 weeks? And I was like, I have a fear of, so I think about like, because the day-to-day, like what happens when something changes. And I'm like, and that's when I go to God. I said, you know what? God got me through the last 2 years. I'm just going to keep praying, being positive, and somehow God's going to get me through the next 2 years too. And you know what I mean? I put my faith in God, man. Don't speak it. You're funny. Everyone is in the 99 is so helpful in the Discord. Really makes you feel inclusive when you are new to the group. Thank you very much for saying that. I appreciate that because I'll never know what it's like to be new into that group now. Sam, why don't you take a vacation? Because I love it. Because I'm in love with what I do. And honestly, you don't want to see me taking a vacation. The whole time I sit and think about my business and my life, and I'm like, what am I doing? And I wouldn't enjoy myself, I'm telling you right now. I would enjoy like a hike into the Amazon. I would enjoy a retreat. Like if we all got to do a retreat in Costa Rica or something, and the lifers hung out for like a week together, I would enjoy that. I would enjoy being able to be free of the charts, being able to be me for 1 week, and just kind of, and then come back. I do think it would be awesome for me personally. At the same time, like, my business would thoroughly suffer if I disappeared for a week. If I didn't go live for a week, the algorithm would eat me alive. Someone would take my slot. You have no idea how thorough and vicious Bitcoin algorithm is. You know what I mean? So I'm just not going to do that. I worked way too hard. I just worked way too hard in the past to let it go for a week of just, I need to be off. I just don't, to me, I don't get it. I'll go live for you. Gina will be on tomorrow. Funny, I just drew this without even, like I was talking to everyone else and I just drew this. Sometimes my TA works. It's good to have someone next to me while I'm doing TA because I'm just talking and then like my subconscious mind just takes over. I mean, 15-minute does want to make a move here. You have to see the Stokes want to push up. I was short, but I said I wouldn't open the short to the 15-minute reset first. I gotta put that out there. All right. Friend and I are a duo. Get Starlink and you can live stream from the jungle. Can I really with Starlink? You can just stream what we're doing in the sun and a little TA so you don't lose your slot. As long as you maintain some sort of work-life balance, Sam. I do. I promise you I do. I'll be your co-host, Gina. Ada holding perfect support thus far on the fib for our low to perfect recent high. When yacht party. I mean, that's 2025, man. 2025. All right. So at the end of the day, had you just long the bullish divergence, would have played out and forgot about, and that's another thing. Sometimes I look at bullish divergence and I just long and I forget about the indicators. And you're like, why, Sam? It's like, over time, you're going to learn what to peel back and what you don't want to peel back. I'm getting thirsty. Who thought about it? Who thought about it? Who just said these pretzels are making me thirsty in their head? Someone did. Did anyone say these pretzels are making me thirsty? Or was I the only one? These pretzels are making me thirsty, Jerry. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Sam gets his rest. He gets everything he wants. If he didn't want to work every day, he wouldn't. He can't be forced to do anything unless he wants to do it. That would be a great show, Gina and Friend. Y'all are creepy. I will host. I will give horrible advice and make you look like a prophet. The golden god. Man, you're funny. You're welcome, lifer. Let's take a look at those super chats. GHX. Bitcoin's in a funny way right now. You know what I mean? Oh, so this is the total market cap that we're looking at. Total market cap doing just what Bitcoin's doing. You know? Can we get a pump up to the 200 SMA? There's a chance we could get that. That'd get us to 936. So far, we have defended the low of $874 billion. All right? If we lose that level, we go lower to 826. We lose that level, we drop to 752. And then we're going to have like a serious discussion. All right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's jump on into the news. Let's jump on in to the news. We'll do it early today. You know? Why not? We'll get it done. You got to get it done. Shout out to everybody here. My name is Sam Price, the Crypto Lifer, and every single day I bring you the news, and I try to find we will find three awesome topics that'll affect your day, affect the cryptocurrency markets. It's something you definitely want to know about. Everyone else will be into the news, and you'll be like, wait, I didn't hear about that. Hedera confirms hacker stole tokens from DEXs, exploiting a bug in the smart contract. Something was happening to Hedera last night. I saw it on Twitter. They were getting exploited. Their coins were getting sold off. Things were going down. I personally do not like the blockchain. I don't know why. Actually, you know what? God bless whoever created it. I don't want to put down anybody. I have an instinct that tells me to stay away from it. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. Charles Hoskinson's also told me to stay away from it 4 years ago at a summit when I spoke with him. So Hedera confirms hackers stole tokens from the DEXs, exploiting a bug. So be careful if you're in Hedera. A lot of people are kind of fiending for it. I personally have nothing to do with it. I'm not a supporter or a fan of it at all. Even the guy who created it seems to be in with like NSA and the government a little bit. It's a little, go do your back end story on Hedera, and you'll see it's not a decentralized coin by any means, in my humble opinion. I mean, nothing is 100%, but this one I think is run by the cronies. But you do whatever makes you happy. I don't want to spread FUD. You do whatever makes you happy. You know, that's my idea. So the attackers here, they took advantage of the vulnerability in Hedera's smart contract service to transfer the Hedera tokens held in the users' accounts to their own accounts. The Hedera Smart Contract Service is a separate computing layer integrated with networks to help run Ethereum-compatible apps. Today, attackers exploited the smart contract service code of Hedera mainnet to transfer Hedera token service tokens held by victims' accounts to their own accounts. The core team at Hedera repeated that the attackers targeted liquidity pools on multiple decentralized exchanges and that had reported Hedera tokens over the network smart contract service via a bridge. The affected multiple DEXs include Pangolin, SaucerSwap, and HeliSwap. Never heard of those swaps. I think I've heard of Pangolin. I know Pangolin, but that's the only one. So turn off access to the mainnet. Several projects in Hedera ecosystems have worked together to investigate the issue. To prevent any further theft of tokens, the Hedera team temporarily turned off the mainnet proxies, which removed users' access to the mainnet. So if you had Hedera on a DEX and you were staking or doing something in a contract, you may have lost all of your Hedera hash graph. This is horrible. It keeps being the bridges that keep being the exploits in these cases. I don't understand why, but it keeps being the bridges that are the exploits in these cases. That's big news. You want to pay attention to that anytime we have something going on like that. Definitely want to know what's happening. U.S. unemployment rate increases to 3.6%. Despite adding a wealth of jobs in the month of February, the U.S. unemployment rate has increased. Didn't they say that there was the low? Anyway, specifically the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics summary of the month showed the additional 3,000 jobs. This is bullish for Bitcoin. Why? Because we need the Federal Reserve to see that the unemployment rate is increasing. If the unemployment rate is increasing, then they know that they're bringing down inflation. It's insane, right? Yeah. So as long as they're hurting the job force, then they can continue to lower the interest rates and make the rich richer in the stock market and the working class poorer. So what it tells you is that the Federal Reserve is working for the rich, really, in a way, because, or all the people who are investing in the market. So we want to see this continue, which is weird. I'm sorry. I feel really hurtful right now because I don't want to see people lose their jobs, and I don't want to see unemployment continue. However, I have basically all my net worth in Bitcoin and stock, and I'm trading. So when this goes up, I know Jerome Powell will keep that interest rate at 0.25, and it will help Bitcoin, and it won't tank the market. So I'm in between. The working man in me is super sad that people will lose their jobs, and I don't want unemployment rate going up. However, for the where I'm situated and how I stand, I kind of need this to continue to go up. So it's really weird. So good news for the crypto industry, bad news for business of America. Kind of got me caught in a standstill here, but this is the news. The unemployment rate increases to 3.6%, and everyone was waiting on that news. We really wanted to see what happened. March 10th, 8:30, the news came out. Unemployment rate at 3.6%. Bang, bang, dang. Silicon Valley banks, rocks, crypto, and equity markets ahead of the jobs report. Analysts are worried that other tech-friendly lenders will face similar problems to Silicon Valley's. Risk aversion is in full swing thanks to a crisis at Silicon Valley Bank, a pivotal lender to tech startups. On Thursday, the self-described financial partner of the innovation economy sold off $21 billion bond portfolio for a considerable loss to shore up its liquidity. So they had to sell at a loss just to make sure that it had enough to move, sending shockwaves across the financial markets. The bank issues reportedly stem from the Federal Reserve's aggressive rate hikes and the resulting slide in bond prices and rise in yields. I'm telling you right now, they want to destroy smaller banks. They want to make the central bank the only bank standing. It's funny, they were talking about it when I was watching the meetings. We were going over that. But this news is important. If you were watching the Senate hearings with Powell, a couple senators said, hey, it seems like you're trying to put more sanctions on smaller banks. They can't handle those liquidity sanctions that bigger banks can handle. Are you trying to put smaller banks out of business? Can you tell us that you're not trying to do that? And, I saw a deeper insight into that statement. That was very, very interesting. And some theories that have been circulating is, that would help them. They would consolidate the wealth, get rid of smaller banks, and centralize wealth up to the central bank. The CBDC would be more controlled. They would take more control. It would make more sense for their global takeover with the WEF and more. So this is the news. I want to bring it to you with a side commentary every single day. My name is Samuel James Price, the Crypto Lifer. And hey, come back tomorrow for the news. I go live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m., 7 days a week. And I'm here every single day, no day off, since February of 2021. And that, my friends, is the news. Thank you, and let's get back into the chart. Shout out to the 697 beautiful souls kicking it with me. 524 likes on the live stream. Love you all. Thank you for the blessings. All right. And with that, let's get the music back and running. Let's get into GHX, and let's see what happens so far. This flag is pushing to the upside. The 15-minute stochastics are grinding up as they suggested they would. So I was short on the 1 hour, but the 15-minute told me to wait. So the 1 hour said we're going to dump. We're overbought. 15-minute told me to wait. You just saw a valuable, you just basically saw my system in a nutshell. You saw it in a nutshell. Wow, we really just hit 20,400 too? Unbelievable. Look at that. On a short squeeze. And I should have went with my initial idea, remember? I don't like these candles. I'm taking them off. So whack. But yeah, remember my initial, when I first came on, I was like, short squeeze coming, huh? That was my initial idea. Crazy. But we did catch it. I mean, we had the cup in handy at one point, you know, on the total market cap. Total market cap's not getting as much as a pump as Bitcoin. A little more resistance here for the total market cap. That's interesting, right? And also, like I said, what if we double top here? That would be the perfect short. Then the 1 hour would take over, and you get the dump to the downside. Measured move would take you down first to about 18,300. All right. Stinky degens for the group. Big squeeze. Hopefully now, give it right back. It is a Friday. Be very careful trading on a Friday. Again, not a financial advisor, but, you know, the liquidity is lower. It's like running through a firing range with 10 people instead of 200 people. Like, the odds of you getting hit are so high on Friday afternoons, all right? So just be careful over trading on Friday afternoon, in my humble opinion. GHX Gamer Coin. All right, let's take a look at this thing. Wow, this thing did not do what we wanted it to do on that daily, right? I remember having the fractal on it and just saying, hey, eventually you'll pump up to the 200 SMA, but it took a nasty downturn. These are low liquidity coins. I have to put that out. This is something that happens on Tesla. Once you get into a tiny liquidity coin, and the market tanked. Bitcoin went down. It hit smaller coins. So this thing is now trying to make a bit of a double bottom here. Had a beautiful fractal too running on it that we took from somewhere else that looked so similar. Like it was just going to hit that fractal to the 200 SMA. But hey, the time didn't play out. And that's why nothing is guaranteed in trading. Nothing. You know, nothing is guaranteed in trading. You're learning probabilities. That's it. And you're putting probabilities to work. So look, this fell out of the falling wedge for a double bottom. I mean, at this point, how much lower can it go, right? I don't like buying things at the very bottom. Personally, I'd like to see this get up and retest this point of control. So GSX to me is pretty beat to the ground. It's called Gamer Coin. Probably has it also has a very small market cap. So just be careful, man. If you're a beginner in my trading group, understand that every single trade that I put out is a swing trade, honestly. Everything should have a stop loss. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but every single time you trade, there should be a stop loss. All right? There should be a stop loss. So the 15-minute, and that's why I love using the 15-minute for confirmation. So honestly, today was a teaching lesson of how you do not open up a short just because the 1 hour is high if the 15-minute is low. All right? Because too many times in my life when I didn't know the 15-minute, I opened up a long, trade would go backwards and I'd wonder why. I eventually figured out that the 15-minute was super high. And had I just watched the 15-minute first and waited for it to come down before I opened up my long, I would have had a far better idea. You know, the long would have played out better. I would have had a far better, better outcome, better result. So that guy on TikTok, you gotta love that guy. Please go watch FET, my brother. I know you love this project as much as me. God bless you. We'll take a look at FET. Shout out to FMST. All right. He got so famous just by doing that move. Isn't that crazy? Hey, man, anything is possible. When I see stuff like that, it makes me realize you got to throw your hat in the ring and just do something. You got to go hard. So we hit a liquidity bar, 20,400, giving it back, you know. The 1 hour still looks horrible. I want to make that clear. And that's a double top right there on the 15-minute time frame. Double tops are bearish, right? Unless you can close a candle above here, this may begin to roll over with the 1 hour. We may not get the whole pump. 1 hour looks absolutely horrible. I want to keep reiterating that. All right. And I'll clean this up on another time frame when we have the chance towards the end of the live. Okay. Clip that and make it a short, right? Buy and stake the solid project. Only a few in a degen to fill those bags. How he used the 1 hour in the 15-minute on the live. That's a perfect short. Clip it. Shout out to Gina Bombina. When someone says clip it, I think of Lorena Bobbitt, like just clipping it, you know. Sorry, I shouldn't. I don't know why I did that. But that was big. I think that did that happen in Massachusetts? I felt like it happened close to home because like, or I guess the whole nation was talking. When I was a kid, everybody talked about it. I'm not going to mention what happened, but if you were from my generation, everybody knew about it. You know, clip it, like, you know, like she clipped it. She totally clipped it. She clipped the hedges, man. She was cutting the hedges, you know. What do you mean, all right? What are you saying? You know that story? Oh, she doesn't know? Yeah, that was huge news. He learned a lesson that day. Oh, wow, Gina, come on. Have a heart. Yo, she threw it out the window on the side of the road, man. What? It's true. It's insanity. Clip it. Clipping the edges. Simpler times, man. Oh my gosh. Yida. Man. I liked Labs. Labs looked like it could hold the zone compared to most coins. I still don't like setups right now. I'm not going to overpost until this market kind of finds itself. That's what I don't like. I'm in like a funny way because like I like when things are in motion. I'm running through. We're getting it in. But right now, everything's kind of just, everything's in a funky way. Like it didn't matter what it was. It got, collapsed with the price of Bitcoin. VRA. Didn't matter what we had. ISP. Every single chart is in shambles. It's okay. This has happened to me hundreds of times. We pick up and we rebuild. Even Demetria, which is, try to get a stop hunt there. We still haven't been stopped out of this trade. Technically, it like fell out of the pattern right now, though. And Bitcoin doesn't look too good. The total market cap looks a little bearish in the 1 hour time frame. Super chats, PAWSWAP. Y'all could say he was tired of... Oh, man. Bobbitt was her name. I remember seeing the pics of that in the magazine when I was 15. Oh, man. Don't stop. BOOKMAP is live on Tutorial YouTube. Yes, it is. Every day. Love, you and Gina should have a show together. Hey, maybe we will one day. Chef, I'm scared to get him canceled. Funny. Is there a divvy on the 15-minute RSI from yesterday? 15:45, 10:10 today. I have a hard time doing that, like going back and visualizing. I don't know. I'm so sorry. It's hard for me. And everyone's like, why? I can't explain it. Dust needs to settle. It's true, man. How did we get here, Sam? You know what? It's Friday, man. We're getting into the weekends. Shout out to Pit Stop Motor Racing Team. You now scary. Why? Would be fun. It would be me trying to make Sam laugh the whole show. Happy Friday. You guys are silly. Who here thinks Bitcoin can make a new lower low? Let me know. I see a green candle. Bottom is in. Really? You're the one that I thought you were going Lambo 10K. You said 10K, then Lambo, man. Well, it's certainly possible. There appears to be more risk to the downside than the upside for the time being. I do. Waiting for the weekly to reset on the Stokes. POC at 16,800. Not letting that scare me away ever again, man. Interesting. Me. No way in hell the ascending triangle is clear as day. To me, it's probable with the microeconomics right now. Going to 10.5 before end of the year. Wow. Also, possible bull forming. Sure, looks like it. 18 to 18.5, then up from there. Sure, why not? When Mt. Gox and everything going on. The biggest creditor from Mt. Gox came out and said they will not sell any of their fund. So that's a good sign. Is my hair messed up too? What happened to my hair? What is going on today? It's complete insanity. Look like I have a tan with this red shirt on. He said, you're the one who's 10K, then Lambo. You're funny. I'm not budging either. That's what I'm saying. Then how come you called the bottom man? No, you're just making, like you're making a little joke. It's funny. Hot water for this man. I wouldn't want to be that dude. But yeah, man, I like the comments here too that I got. Good morning, Lifer. Well said. Preach. Amen. You know, amen. You nailed it, Sam. Beautifully said. Love it. Love it. Everyone knows we are going to 0, not 10K, 0. You guys should give me your, dude, if you're going to make a funny joke, Golden God, you got to at least write it out clear. I'm the typo king. You can't be. What is the device to do in these markets when you're in these trades still? Sell or keep it? I would always have a plan. You know, obviously you didn't see the problem with your question is, number one, I'm not going to answer that because I'm not a financial advisor and I'm never going to tell you to do with your money. What I will do though is I know what you did. You opened up a trade without a plan. Because when you ask someone else what to do with your trades, it means you never made a plan about the trade. So you either get into a trade and you say, this is a swing trade. I plan on swinging this for more money. If I get stopped out, I will get stopped out. I have to handle that. It is what it is. And you swing trade and you get stopped out. Or you say, I'm dollar cost averaging into these coins. I believe in the next year to 2 years, they're going to be pretty big. I'm going to begin to build a position in these coins, right? That's another thing you do. Once you do that, it is what it is. So, right? I've been watching you for a while. I've been saving to join your group soon. Sonny Singh, since you said that, let's put you in today. We'll put you in for 1 month for free, Sonny, because you've been saving to join. And maybe when you save enough, you'll come back in for that next month. So, Sonny, email us right now, Sonny Singh, with this email if you can. Sonny Singh. And we will put you in the group today for free. I'm going to do a nice thing for you. The way you wrote that, the fact that you're saving to join my group, sounds like it. And honestly, I don't think you wrote that to be this. I believe that's a true story, and I want to help you jump into the group today. I'll give you a month, all right? I'll change your life. Come on in. You're done. You're in there. Like that. My life's going so well, like that. You know what I mean? Like that. All right? Shout out to Sonny. Man, let's go. That's what's up. God bless the lifers. Amen. 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 The worst is yet to come. That could, I mean, honestly, Sam is the best, man. Thank you. 5-star, friends. Shout out to Mac Lifestyle. That's a new one. I've never seen that name. Shout out to Mac Lifestyle. Love you, brother. Shout out to Adam Davidson. Shout out to Daytime Crypto. Shout out to B Crypto 2181. I haven't seen that name before. Sorry if you've been around. Shout out to Highly Trained. Shout out to Kevin Baker. Shout out to Nathaniel Natividad. Shout out to Cubano Kush, my man. Shout out to Sonny Singh jumping on in, man. God bless. Hey, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Crypto Monster. Limit to XX. Shout out to Ifu Hillik. Shout out to Golden God. Shout out to Bad Menelite. You're funny. Shout out to Thomas Semenich. You've been in for a minute too, Semenich. Shout out to Maddie Stevens. Shout out to Nang Vang. Shout out to Adam Wild in the case. And it's volatile. Friday is volatile, right? Low liquidity on a Friday. I'm telling you, I see the 50-minute rolling over, and I see the 1 hour taking control, right? It's like at the end of the day, you're in this rising wedge flag here that could break down. You could attempt to double bottom, and then, the bullish divergence only got you to resistance. You got to get back above the resistance to remain bullish. So important on Bitcoin, all right? Greetings, King. I'm going to be joining next. This is the way. Shout out to Elijah Haddock. God bless you, man. Peace and love to you and yours. You're the man, bro. 20,400 is coming. We already kind of hit it. Look, we hit 20,400 on the futures. We tapped it. We got rejected. They liquidated basically $1 million, about $700,000 worth of long liquidations. Came back up. Friday's the worst day to trade leverage, man. I hope we pump, but that's just hope. These pumps are so lackluster. I just hope we can hold 18.5 region. We have a new lifer. Welcome, Sonny, to the fold. Bang. Shout out to Kevin Baker. Thank you. And let Sonny, shower him with love today. Let him know that he's in the right place at the right time. Rising price with falling volume. Means you continue to the downside, but it did switch here. That's not on Bitcoin, though. So we did double top of the 15. I believe this is the time to open up the short now, personally, at resistance. 15-minute will roll over with the 1 hour. Lack of momentum on the MACD. And lo and behold, we get that move to the downside. It's messy. I'll clear this up for the trading group. All right. I got to clear it up for myself. I can't. So annoying. Like, and there's that short to continue to the downside. You got to love that short. All we had to do was put a stop loss outside of the bear flag. It was a simple way to trade. Like, you didn't even need to know a lot. All you had to know was what a bear flag is and where to put a stop loss on the other side of it. Like, simpler the better, man. You know BWE is in the house. Shout out to Big Wig Energy in the house. God bless you, brother. I like to trade Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Hey, what are you stealing my days? Yeah, but they ruined Tuesday and Wednesday this week. They ruined the trading week this week completely. They did. You know, I'm sorry. I was unable to post the gains that I normally post because Jordan Powell stole the show. You know what I mean? He really did. Time to jump him in, lifers. Kidding. We only beat him up on the market maker. Welcome, brother. Funny, man. We only beat up on the market makers. Big gains from Solana today. Got in at 1630. Yee. Let's keep going. Interesting. They did destroy the week. Oh, my God. My Matic 3S came back to my entry, but I'm not worried. Interesting. Keep it simple, Sammy. Let's take a look at Matic 3S in a second here. Why is it? I can't. It's messy price action. You almost have to say you fell out of a flag. You broke out of the flag. You broke back in. But it doesn't mean you can't continue to break out again. Right? Does what's going on with security-wise affect your thoughts on Matic and Op? A little bit in the long run, yes. But, you know, I'll tell you right now, my instincts have told me to be wary of Ethereum. And it's weird because it was the first coin I ever bought. But I do, you know, I don't use feeling when trading, but I do have instincts. And they tell me when to go towards or far away from something. And it's not a spoken thing. It literally, I get like and it's almost not even not a feeling. It's just like I just know, you know, like I knew not to do Celsius. Something told me never to do it. Stay away from it. I knew never to use BlockFi. Never touch it. Crypto.com, I think is sketchy too. I'm not into it. I can't explain it. Like something tells me don't touch those things. That Squid Grow coin came out and then they rug pulled millions of dollars. Like I had a feeling not to touch that coin. I can't explain it. I'm not saying I get everyone right, but I didn't do Celsius. You know what I mean? I didn't push anyone into it. I didn't put any money into it. I never talked about it. They hit me up for Celsius X once. I made like one video about it that I thought I might do, but I never even asked for my Celsius or claimed for it. It's kind of weird, you know? So something about it told me to stay away from it. And I just, number one, I wasn't going to stake hard-earned money. I worked a night shift. If you've worked as hard as me in your life to get the pieces of the puzzle that you have, oh my gosh, like you would never stake. If you know, I worked too hard. I gave a night shift is hard work. I worked a night shift for 6 years, going in every day at 7, And even when I left early at 1 a.m. a lot of times, because I worked from 7 to 1, so it was a great 5-hour shift, 6-hour shift, and I'd work like 25 to 30 hours a week and still make a 40-hour paycheck. That's why I worked the night shift. Shout out to that company. I bagged you. I bagged you for everything y'all had. You know what I mean? And I learned how to trade crypto at work. So I got a paycheck, taught myself another skill while at work. And that's why I worked the night shift, because at night, no one watched me work. I had access to all the computers, so I could set things up and do whatever I want. When you're on the day shift, you can't do whatever you want. There's people asking you 100 questions, and you spend a lot of time just talking to people doing nothing. When you're at work alone, you can't spend time wasting it just saying nothing to nobody. You know what I mean? So it also made me very independent. You work alone on a night shift every night, and there's no one to help you. Like when a computer broke, when something happened, I had to learn how to fix all those things myself, because I couldn't show up the next day and say I didn't get it done. So I learned how to become a video engineer. I learned how to wire. I learned so many things because I was on my own late at night. In New York City too. And I would get out at like 1 or 3 in the morning on 27th and 6th. And even though it's in the middle of the city, those avenues are long and dark. And the buildings are high and tall. And like the 20s are kind of sketchy. Like people kind of come out of like Union Square at 3 or 4 in the morning. And I had to like protect myself a few times. I rode a motorcycle most of the time. One funny thing I used to do was bring the motorcycle into the building. Crazy thing that I did. They would all leave for the day, and I would put my motorcycle out. But when everyone left, I would come back outside, look around, because this was a crazy thing. I'd get to work at like 7:30, but at like 8:45, 9, they did street cleaning, and they'd take your bike off. So I would open the doors to the lobby of a New York City building, like straight up. They didn't have a doorman, you know? And I would roll my motorcycle in and like kind of park it to the right side. They had a dance school on like the 10th floor, and apparently someone said they could smell gasoline in the dance school one time. Only because I started it to get it above the curb and then leaned it in, and probably some gas did go up the elevator shaft like this, you know. Anyway, whatever. I should have been doing it. Funny, eventually someone found out like this guy's putting his motorcycle in the freaking Man, I did so many things that a normal person just would never do. Like, I always was like, man, maybe I could do that. Like, and I was like, no one would do that. And I was like, that's why I'm going to do it, you know? Oh, man, my life has been fun. I've had fun with my life. I really have. Look, there's a hidden bullish divergence here on the short, technically. That's swinging down, that's swinging up. I didn't see that before. You're in a falling wedge here, and you got some supportive resistance, too. The chance this does make a move. Matic short on the 1 hour time frame could move. We're waiting on that 15-minute to come. Oh, it did. It reset. See, the 15-minute was high when we started. It dumped back down in the last 2 hours, just as we suggested. This is just what we were talking about. Okay? So far, so good. Now, it could still go down and we could get stopped out. Anything is possible. But I'm looking at the probabilities here now. 15 minutes reset, 1 hour's reset. Can we get a scalp? And that's the thing. Adam, the strongest alt today above the 50 EMA on the 1 hour time frame. Interesting. Well, yeah, NYC came out, bike would be stripped. Yeah. How do you trade working in the night shift when the market opened up and you're sleeping? How do you trade? I don't still work the night shift, man. You think I still work a night shift? I haven't worked a night shift since I'm 40 now, since I was 34, I think I stopped. They just cut the pole and load up and gone. Exactly. They cut it and they're gone. Yeah. Put it in the back of a pickup truck. It takes 5 seconds. It takes literally under 30 seconds to steal a motorcycle. 4 guys. In and out. I remember the bake pump and I couldn't talk with the shock. Took me a few days to process what had happened. Stone 1 YGM, man. I hope you took profits, man. Crypto doesn't close. I opened my short at 20,015. Okay. NYC got cameras everywhere now. Worked nights for 6 years. Not fun, but like you said, it pays. Now I listen to you and others every day while I'm not working, hoping to educate myself to be financially free. Shout out to Nate Anderson. VAI bounced 26% after the low yesterday. VAI, baby. That's my baby, Vio. Yeah, nice jump off the low. And I got this giant cup and handle for VAI, and it's amazing. 3 days reset. What this did is it also reset the bigger time frames on these smaller coins. 3 days reset, 2 days reset. Starting to see these time frames starting to really get busy. And this is a 618 Fibonacci level. I put this out to the trading group. I'm watching it closely. We could see a massive move back for VAI to the upside. For 215% gains, anything could happen. So, all right. Imagine having to wait for the market after you've been trading crypto. You can't go back. Yeah, no, you can't. Can you please have a look at Doge, Sam? Lifer, what do you think about the S&P greetings from the Netherlands? The S&P greeted me for the Netherlands. No, let's take a look at the ES1 here on the not the CME. So we talked about this idea. We got the bounce. I was super excited about it. I was like, word, we got the bounce. And I kept saying we cannot end up to see this green box. We can't close a candle in there. A yellow box. People have told me it was yellow. It looked green to me. That looks green to me, but we can't close a candle in there. If we close a candle in here, it means we breached this trend line and we're back inside the bigger pattern. This is the bigger pattern that everyone's been kind of watching here for the S&P. You know, take away your moving averages to see the pattern clear. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Then I drew this trend line. We respected it. So far, we've stayed respecting it. It's a symmetrical triangle. If it breaks up, you're going to 4,900 to 67. If it breaks down, you're going down to 3,222. All right. Of course, I took profits, but I learned from the best, man. Shout out to Stone1 YGM. Dude, you made so much money on that bait call. God bless you, man. I remember you were telling me too that you were young and your dad, and I was just like, man, God bless you, brother. So here's someone in the trading group. I may be closing earlier, but I'm grateful for this chance. I would never find Jasmine Coin without you, Sam. This is on 114. Grateful for this chance. I've been listening carefully to your live streams, and you keep mentioning Jasmine. I felt it in your speech and TA that you had strong beliefs it'll do some huge moves. After doing some more research, decided to go for it. And in 5 days, this is the result. Joined the group in less than a week, and very happy I'm a Lifer Discord member now. 1,800 bucks on Jasmine on the 14th of January. Bang, bang, bang. Another beautiful testimonial. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. PAWSWAP. People are asking about PAWSWAP. Easy. Let's take a look at PAWSWAP, and then I'm jumping out of here. It's dang near 12 o'clock. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. God bless you all. Oh, right now we actually have something to watch, actually. Might actually bring this in. Janet Yellen is live with the on Biden's budget. I kind of want to dabble into that for a while. If you want to watch that with me, I think I could get caught up watching that. I kind of want to see what's going on with that. Even just to laugh. Like, I just want to see, like, I just want to go. I want to see what goes on. So PAWSWAP has been interesting. It's got an Ethereum address. Been kind of going up and down a little bit. If you really want to know how to trade something like this, you look down and see where you can buy it. Gate.io, BitGet, MEXC's got PAW. So let's go to the, and TradingView really has done a really good job integrating MEXC. They are fully integrated now, almost every single chart. So shout out to MEXC. We love you. And why do I like MEXC? Well, it's simple. They take care of their customers better than any other exchange in the game. 0% fees for both spot and future makers. The lowest fees in the game. You can't beat that. When you're first starting out, you have $200-300 bucks and you're just trying to learn. You can't be spending fees on your trades. 0 fees. How's that? 0. MEXC Global. Link in the description below. Bringing you the best and the cheapest way to learn how to begin to trade if you're a beginner. If you're an old trader and you've been trading for years, why do you want to pay fees? Have a backup. Open up a MEXC Global today. I'm telling you right now, link in the description below. Open up a MEXC Global today. 0 fees. And maybe they'll go back. You never know when they're going to go back to some fees. They might get enough customers. So I would take advantage of the 0 fees while I could. I would take advantage of 0 fees while I could. I'm going to link this here. I'm going to post this here and pin it. All you got to do is hit that link. Open up a MEXC. Even if you don't use one for a while, have a backup. Be ready. MEXC, baby. MEXC, place to be. All right, let's take a look at PAWSWAP on MEXC, and that's another reason which brings me MEXC. So let's look at the total market cap. 22-hour suggests that we're going to get a bounce, that this is a double bottom on a scary resistance. We don't want to break back in here. We must bounce on this 22-hour time frame and hit the measured move. We got to double bottom here and break out. If we do not, we will struggle. 4 hours says, yes, we're going to get the bounce. 1 hour says we're coming down, but it could just kind of scurry down and make a little like a triple bottom there. So we just want to make sure that the 1 hour doesn't enter back into my green, my yellow box, whatever box you want to call it, whatever color it is. S&P can't get back in there. If it does, that's going to be a stressful situation. Yellen the felon. She gets paid to speak from Goldman Sachs. Who noticed the clock time patterns when trading? Who noticed clock time patterns when trading? I have no idea what that is. And there we go. Shorts are in control now, as we suggested. And now the 15-minute is going to dump. Hopefully, yep. And now the 1 hour is back in control. We double top now. So let's kind of clear away what's going on here. It wasn't easy to navigate price action the last 2 hours. I caught the first pump on the 7. I then saw that we had to wait out the 15-minute. I caught that insight, right? To a beginner, you could be confused. Like, he said this, he said that, but now you're working through the magic with me. We double topped. I talked about the double top before it even happened. I said, could we double top here? Then we would be in control. I drew the double top. We went over it, right? So this isn't rocket science, all right? At the end of the day, this is a symmetrical triangle, or I guess, no, that's, yeah. I'm going to give that symmetrical triangle vibes. That's a simi. It can either break up or down, depending. All right? Up or down, depending. And I'm telling you that it's most likely going to break to the downside based on the 1 hour time frame, double top. And so, and I believe that breaks this move, and we make a low here, and my measured move of the bigger short is to 18,376. I could be wrong. That would be a pretty big move to the downside. We may double bottom here and hold off at about 19,591, but I'm short. All right. Let's take a look at BOOKMAP, and BOOKMAP also still showing you, we're getting drained. We tapped the high bar liquidity, so we hit the high bar. We shorted as many people as we could, short liquidated them. We came back down, and now we got more liquidity to the low side. So shout out to everybody that worked with me throughout this price action, because it wasn't easy. Pumped to have you on. Love you. Shout out to Crypto Grady. And I will be on Crypto Grady, right? What is the name of the channel, Crypto Grady? I should know, but my team tells me stuff, and I'm running around through the charts, and my focus is on the charts, so I don't really focus on anything else. I have my team fill in the blanks whenever I'm going somewhere. I'm going to be on a live stream today at 1 p.m., right? Let the people know, Crypto Grady. Let the people know. Let them know right now. What channel am I going to be on? Send in the link, or send me the link. You could Twitter me the link. But Janet Yellen, man, I want to see what she has to say. I'm really excited to see what she has to say. I really am. People like to watch like movies and stuff. This gets me going. Like watching Janet Yellen, and I'm not even joking. Like Grady DeFi Kingdoms. Oh, so we're gonna be on Crypto Grady, right? On your channel. All right. So let's go find that channel right now. Wow, we're going to bring the energy, man. You got that energy, so I'm excited. It's going to be pretty nuts. Crypto Grady right here, man. I'm jumping on Crypto Grady's channel. I met him. Super awesome dude. Catch me on this channel live, right? Do you need a thumbnail? My team could build a thumb for you. Do you want a thumb, a nice thumb? I could draw a more realistic human than Janet Yellen. Jamie, could we get a thumb done for Crypto Grady if he needs one? Let me know. Oh, yeah, Gina can put the link because she's a moddy mod. So, yeah, we're going to talk about all things crypto, have some fun. I'm excited to go on this channel. I'm excited to kick it. This guy's got great energy, man. He's got great energy. Jamie, let's get a thumb made. This is his face. If you can marketing. Jamie, what's the email that he should send a thumb to? I know it's marketing support at Crypto Lifers or something. I just emailed you. Okay, cool. Send a picture to Crypto Lifers at Gmail. She'll send it to the team, and then they'll whip us up a little thumbnail for 1 o'clock if you want, They are talking hard and soft landing, Sam. I know, it's crazy. Let's take a look at what they're saying. I need to hear what they're saying.
How they work. But experts are thinking that the previous interest rates that were just made, they might have been already played out. So looking forward now, where do we go? Do we accept this continued inflation, or do we have to continue to raise interest rates for a second year in a row? And if we raise those rates, what is appropriate, Madam Secretary?
Isn't that a Jordan Powell
You know,
question?
this is a matter we leave
Why is she laughing?
up to the best judgment of the independent Federal Reserve. Having worn that hat in a prior life, I know that the kinds of judgments you're asking
She's so hard to watch.
make are very difficult ones and require tremendously careful analysis of the economy, what's playing out, and how monetary policy operates. I know that my colleagues at the Fed are engaged in these discussions.
She looks like she's on a
every day
gummy.
and want to do the best they can. They're clearly committed to bringing inflation back to their 2% target.
Okay, thank
They
you.
also have a
Thank you.
commitment to
Thank you. I got a minute left, and it's your last minute. I'm going to make it real quick. What should our long-term goals be, Madam Secretary, when it comes to our debt?
that we have a sustainable fiscal trajectory. And to me, the single best metric is real net interest burden of the debt. And that's something we've focused on carefully in this budget. Historically, it's been at or a little bit above 1%. And if you look at the budget with the deficit reduction it contains, we keep the real net interest burden as a share of GDP right around 1%. So to me, that is a sustainable budget path, and it's one I use to evaluate fiscal sustainability.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Mr. Chairman, I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, thank you for your testimony. Sorry we went 12 minutes over, but we appreciate that you stayed for all of it. Please be advised that members have 2 weeks to submit written questions to be answered later in writing. Those questions and your answers will be made part of the formal hearing record. With that, the committee stands adjourned.
Oh, thank God. We missed most of it.
Looking into the bank accounts of our fellow Americans.
The bank accounts.
Our friends on the other side of the aisle tried to get an IRS surveillance program into the banking system in the last Congress, and we successfully blocked it. But we've had to go so far as to introduce a bill, H.R. 1010, prohibiting IRS Financial Surveillance Act. Can we have your assurances that none of the money that has been appropriated to the IRS will be used to implement a financial surveillance system with the banking system, snooping into the bank accounts of our fellow Americans unless it is directed by Congress? Yes or no? Do we have your commitment that you won't go around the back of Congress and implement that program?
Of course not. We require
Good. Thank you.
legislation.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Madam Secretary, and I appreciate the directness of the
They
answer.
cut her
Second
off when they
thing,
say yes, and they
you
said
know,
yes.
I still don't get the fact that under the
Did
Constitution,
he say banking?
the power of taxation.
Yo,
lies
what up,
with Congress,
Andrew
yet you
Sulo,
are
man?
Negotiating U.S. tax
Sulo.
policy, and you're ceding U.S. tax policy and revenue to countries around the world with the OECD. I will tell you, I've said this, and I think I said this the last time you were here. We are about making America the most competitive place in the world to do business, and we should be winning both on the manufacturing side and the export side. We should be importing treasure from around the world to the United States of America. And I don't think that we should give up one dime of our U.S. revenue to foreign countries with this. When we have a debt crisis that is looming, okay? Real quickly, can you tell me, will the GILTI revenues, if your Pillar 2 is implemented, will those revenues go down here in the U.S.?
Well, if the United States implements the GILTI tax, which would involve...
As a function of Pillar 2, would you see a
Pillar 2,
decrease in tax revenue coming into the U.S. from that?
It would be a huge increase in tax revenue
Okay,
if we implement if we implement the GILTI tax.
Okay,
Our tax
I think that's
revenue
yet to be determined. Now,
clearly rise.
one final thing, Madam Secretary. You know, Americans really, over the years of all of the alphabet agencies up here, they tend to fear the letters IRS more than most. And one of the things that we find disturbing is that the IRS has been buying up a tremendous amount of ammunition and firearms over the years. Two things. Number one, can you provide a report to this body that will explain why the IRS has purchased so much 9mm ammunition, and will you commit to not buying a single bullet or a single gun in that agency until you get your customer service right?
Look, there
Yes or no? Will you look into that?
No, I won't, because
Okay, thank you, Madam. My time has expired. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you.
since the GILTI tax.
Would you see a
Pillar two
decrease in tax revenue?
meant to rise.
One really, over the years of all of the alphabet agencies, one of the things that we find disturbing is that the IRS has been buying up a tremendous amount of ammunition and firearms over the years. Two things. Number one, can you provide a report to this body that will explain why the IRS has purchased so much 9mm ammunition, and will you commit to not buying a single bullet or a single gun in that agency until you get your customer service right?
Look, there.
Yes or no? Will you look into that?
No, I won't, because.
Okay, thank you, Madam. My time has expired. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Thank you. Gentleman from Kansas is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Madam Secretary. Over here, we're doing 2 for 1.
Yeah, why are they buying
sorry.
so much ammo?
Thank you, Madam Secretary, for joining us today. You know, as we were meeting today, you know, we just got the administration's budget yesterday and tried to dig through the numbers and get an understanding. But, you know, just from top line, over the next 10 years, we're spending $8.2 trillion in spending. We're raising in revenue, or bringing in revenue, $65 trillion, which equates to a corresponding deficit of $17 trillion. Now, I know you said that we're having a $3 trillion cut in the deficit, but just because we're not making a $20 trillion deficit, it's still a $17 trillion increase over the 10-year period. And we talked earlier a little bit about the 15% increase in the department after already getting the $80 billion last year, and with us being in debt, and actually next year, over 1 out of $4 that is being spent in the 2024 suggested budget is borrowed. It's almost 1 out of $3 is borrowed. 30% of the spending next year. So today I want to focus a little bit and follow up a little bit on my colleague from Georgia talked about the OECD and particularly talked a little bit about the OECD Pillar 2 and the impact on the U.S. competitiveness in the world. And what's being negotiated is some radical changes in the international tax system. And we've sent a letter to my office, or there was a letter that you sent back to my office indicating you look forward to working with us to implement this. I can tell you that Congress isn't in favor of this. As several of us have mentioned, we have very main concerns, and Congress doesn't want to implement something that will make America weaker and less competitive. So, you know, last year, the Democrat majority in Congress wouldn't even pass the Pillar 1 or the Pillar 2 and the OECD provisions. So have you informed the other countries that we're negotiating with that, you know, it wouldn't pass last year and it's probably not going to pass under a Republican Congress this year?
My understanding is that there were members of Congress that did not want the United States to go first in implementing a 15% minimum tax.
Looks like we'll go sideways.
Country by country.
I'm telling you right now.
You already have a 10.5%.
For a while, a couple hours.
GILTI, your minimum tax on earnings of American multinationals abroad. And now the European Union.
Yeah, we're going to
has
12K,
adopted it, and
guaranteed.
Other countries are moving forward.
These comments are
Japan,
ridiculous.
United Kingdom, Singapore, many countries are going forward with this. So the issue of our going first and will others follow no longer exists.
Well, yeah,
and
well,
it's critically
it does,
important for us to
it does change, though, if before I run out of time, if the proposal is to raise our GILTI to 21% when everybody else.
Do you know what the GILTI tax is? I just want to make it clear for everyone. I want to educate you every time you're here. It's the GILTI tax, the GILTI tax, all right? I'll break it down for you right now because I wanted to know. So the global intangible low tax income is a 10.5% minimum tax enacted as part of tax reform legislation in order to discourage profit shifting by U.S. shareholders of controlled foreign corporations. GILTI approximates that income from intangible assets such as patents, trademarks, and copyrights held abroad was introduced as an outbound anti-base erosion provision. So the global intangible low tax income, that's what they're asking. They're talking about the GILTI tax, the GLTI tax. So now you know something. You can be more learned when you're talking to people of economic stature, people that are into finance. You could be like, well, I was watching Janet Yellen talk about the GILTI tax with Mr. Estes earlier today, and, I'd like to hone in on that. So it just, now you know what the GILTI tax is. The global intangible.
15% is all that they have to do. I mean, that's going to make American businesses less competitive.
Well, no,
and
it's
at
not.
the meantime, with the undertax provisions, it's going to actually
global
allow
intangible
other
low
countries
tax
to still
income
race to the bottom through this process.
That isn't right, because right now we have a 15% tax, and no other country has any tax whatsoever. So there's a 15% gap. Now they're all going to have a 15% gap, and we're proposing that we go to 21, which is a much smaller gap of 6%. We're a competitive, attractive place to do business, and having a lower tax rate on the earnings of American companies abroad than they would pay at home is an incentive to shift jobs out of the United States abroad, and we're more competitive, and we're narrowing that gap, which makes it more attractive to invest in the United States.
It really is.
And disadvantage.
We would agree on that.
Get yourself
that
a 38.
U.S. competitiveness is heard, and that's what was addressed. And I've run out of time, but I'll yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman from New York.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
One last one, and
Madam
I'm done. I just
Secretary,
love these. I love these.
Yesterday, this committee held a hearing on the technicality of a proposal where there was a lot of talk about debt, deficit, and priorities. At the same time, the president released a $6.9 trillion
Isn't that Eric
budget
Sowell?
plan.
Is that the dude who had the,
182-page
is that him? No,
document.
that's Smallwell, right?
The deficit by $3 trillion over the next decade. Bloomberg
That's Swalwell.
Economics put out a
Swalwell
comprehensive
got caught
report
up with a Chinese spy,
last month,
in case you didn't know.
saying that President Biden was on track to becoming the greatest jobs-producing president in U.S. history. Nearly 13 million jobs in the past 26 months, including 504,000 in January, 311,000 that was announced this morning for the month of February. They forecast that
Farts well, you're funny,
while
man.
inflation was at
9K coming.
9.1% in June of last year, the forecast for this time next year is 2.25%. 92% of Americans now have access to affordable health care, and we are beginning through the Inflation Reduction Act to compete in a real sense with China. The Stone Age didn't end because we ran out of stones, and the oil age won't end because we run out of oil. The oil age will end when we find a way to do it that is cleaner, quicker, and more competitive. The Inflation Reduction Act includes two major pieces. One is a $7,500 tax credit.
That's how he goes out of the house
for
with his hair?
Americans
You don't like,
purchase electric vehicles.
Like, come on,
and
man, you're on
also a
CNBC.
tax credit for American
I'm on my own YouTube channel
manufacturers
better than
of
that.
batteries that is
What are
estimated
you
to
doing?
reduce the cost of an electric car by an additional $9,000. It seems as though, we finally got the message that we need to be tough about China, but we need to be tougher on ourselves about China as well. And these initiatives in the Inflation Reduction Act and in this budget, I think, go a long way to doing that. You're the 78th Secretary of the Treasury. You were appointed in January of 2021. And just your thoughts about these and other efforts that are in the budget toward
we went over Mt. Gox. The biggest fund is not going to sell Bitcoin. They've already come out and said that. Let's kind of end that.
the goal of increasing American competitiveness, accruing to the advantage of the American people and the American consumer.
Well, thank you for your comments. I strongly agree with your
as opposed
a
to
love fest.
12 months ago, you were proposing.
Let's see a hard Democrat, a Republican go hard now.
I don't know.
Mr. Smucker
to reduce
of the
deficits
Smucker Company.
Debt. One of my colleagues' question. I was pleased to hear in response to one of my colleagues' questions earlier, just a little while ago, you said that the debt.
I bet he's
matters,
related to Smucker,
should be taken seriously. When you and I talked last year during this hearing, you said, and again I quote, "It is desirable to reduce deficits." Do you still feel that way, Madam Secretary?
Lloyd Schmucker.
Yes, I do.
The chart I have here, and I don't know if you can see it, hopefully you can catch it, but this is year.
The older Amish. He's Amish, but they left the community when he was 5 years old.
And compares.
Wow, he left the Amish community.
2023 proposal by
They
the
must have grown up
president,
pretty conservatively.
Budget proposal, and 2024. I have directly from the budget these sheets, and what it shows is that this proposal, 2024 compared to 2023, increases deficits further. Year over year. And the orange on here is your new proposal compared to what you were proposing last year. You see some significant difference in the early years, but it never is reduced over the proposals from last year. And on your totals on this sheet.
Yeah, they said the Reduce Inflation Act, but he's pointing out that that act clearly will not reduce inflation.
Proposing over the next 10 years today, $17 trillion in additional deficits and debt, as opposed to 12 months ago, you were proposing $14 trillion total in deficits and debt. So my question,
so 1 year you went $3 trillion up. Like
today, why
it's going to happen next year?
Proposing
be at 21
$3 trillion higher deficits than you proposed last year?
Well, excuse me.
Good question.
The budget contains a table S2, that shows the effect of the budget proposals on projected deficits.
Yeah.
And that illustrates.
Do you disagree with my characterization?
I do disagree, because what this table shows is that the president's proposals result in additional deficit reduction relative to the 2023 baseline of close to $3 trillion.
Making the symmetrical triangle now. See, if you bounce on the 15, you look for a low 7. Seven's beat, so it's telling you probably start to go sideways here.
Could you look at your sheet and tell me which year there are lower deficits than what you had proposed last year?
Well, for example, starting in 2025,
is this really how our country runs?
Deficits in the baseline were 6.7%. And in the president's proposal,
that was not your baseline last year. That is CBO's baseline, which is far higher than what you were projecting last year. So essentially you're saying our policies created higher deficits than you had projected last year, and now we're going to take credit for reducing those higher deficits by $3 million. Am I right on that? Or $3 trillion?
Relative to where we were before this budget was issued. And
someone said, I hope they put her safely back in the ocean. That's
this
insane.
Budget projects.
Oh my
nobody
God.
Nobody outside of the Beltway will look at your proposal compared to the proposals last year. We'll look at your proposal compared to what has actually happened. We'll look at a chart like this, which is taken directly from your numbers, and say that we're reducing the deficit. And it's a shame, because we both agree that long term, we're on a wrong fiscal trajectory. We must do something about it. And this budget does nothing. In fact, it adds to the
it makes it worse.
Deficits and debts that we've been experiencing.
Make that really clear, because what will happen is Democrats will go, Republicans did nothing. We passed the Inflation Reduction Act. But he's showing you clearly that it's not going to reduce the deficit. Like, we all know that when you print more money, you go further into inflation. You know what I mean? So then that's why when we were watching the last 2 days, Monday and Wednesday, it was really insightful for us as a trading group. It was really insightful for all of us. I think I opened up my eyes. I claimed I thought I knew a lot about the situation, but I gained even more insight watching the intricacies in the cabinets, like watching them go back and forth, time yielding, even just watching how they yield time and go back and forth. Like, if you're going to become a politician, you're going to know this stuff. You're going to have your 5 minutes. You're going to have to yield. You're going to have to know how to circumvent when people interrupt, when you should go back, when you're just getting emotionally vexed and you're going to waste your time and miss your point. And you got to stay focused on your point and not let them make you say things that you don't plan on saying. Like, it's a tough game. You know what I mean? And we're learning the intricacies of what it's like to be in politics in America, actually in the space, dealing with the chairman, dealing with the boards. And, he has a really good point. And so what the Democrats will throw stones at the Republicans and say, you did nothing. We passed this big act and you did nothing. You're going to make and the big act that they passed is not going to do what they say it's going to do. It's not going to. And the fact that they actually had the nerve, like usually they kind of like call it like the Betterment of American Act, but they really called it the Inflation Reduction Act. And like anyone with a brain, anyone that knows how to do 2 + 2 would know that if you already have a lot of money in circulation and you print more money, that you're going to lower the value and you're going to raise inflation. Like, it's just obvious to me, especially something of that big, like trillion.
No one else would believe that we're reducing the deficits with your budget. Thank you.
Yeah, like I'm not a mathematician here, right? I'm a decently college educated guy. I went to a very good high school. I had a really good traditional background in education, fine. But come on now. Like, so I just hope everyone, and the problem with this is if I come out and said, hey, the Reduction Act is wrong, they'll say I'm a Republican who's like, and I'm not. I'm just a guy who studied finance my whole life. And I can see when you add more money to a situation, you're going to create more issues in the economy. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So with that being said, I just want to leave that with it today. We're going to leave Bitcoin where it's at right now. Crazy couple of days. You see the 7-minute is getting oversold now, and it's starting to channel. And I've watched these time frames. That is a double top. We're going to have to make a lower low than this. But right now we're channeling in a symmetrical triangle, in my humble opinion. 15-minute also kind of came back to low again and could reset. We're fighting against that 1 hour that definitely wants to dump on you. You could still get a short squeeze, although it's highly unlikely. So we're watching this 15-minute play out yet again. All right. Looks like it'll pop out one more time. We want to hit the top of this channel. That's really going to be the short entry, in my opinion. Just like I like to long the bottom, that way, and then if this eventually dumps down with the 1 hour. So the short entry, we're looking, still waiting for the perfect entry here on that 15-minute when it comes back up to the upside. This was a pretty good entry on the short. If you're in it right now, you're already in it to win it. Chance you come back to break even for a second, though. Stop loss somewhere up in here should be okay. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. I'm just going over the idea of how I would trade Bitcoin today and what I'm looking at. You can, go over it any way you want and figure it out yourself. One outlier is when these moving averages get tight, we tend to pump up to the 200 SMA. We could get a short squeeze to pump us up there, and, everyone would get stopped out, and then eventually we would come back down. That could happen. It's not guaranteed, but it could happen. What I believe is most likely going to happen is that we're going to pump up here to the top of the channel right now, like we're doing right now. How did I know that was likely going to happen? Because I trade Stokes, and when the 7-minute get low and I'm on the bottom of a channel, it's likely we get a pump back to the upside. That is what it is. Now we're going to wait out the 7 and the 15. Even though we know the 1 hour is bearish, we just want to make sure the pattern plays out in the way that we're looking for. So we're looking for the Bitcoin to get up here, roll over, and that could be another entry into a bear move to the downside, right? I'm still bearish based on the 1 hour time frame. Just a 1 hour scalp, though, up until about 9-10 tonight. That should play out, and then we can kind of see what's happening, and I'll redo a Bitcoin update for the daily candle close and for my trading group. I do about 2 to 4 updates every single day in the trading group, definitely every morning and definitely every night, and depending what you need throughout the day. So shout out to everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate you all for being here, and I'll catch you tomorrow on the next live stream. I do a morning update real quick, and then I do a live stream at 8 p.m., so catch me twice tomorrow, and God bless you all for being here. Thank you for the love, and I'll see you tomorrow on the next live. Be safe.